of course, the last couple of weeks. Have in store. I guess Lancashire just need to concentrate on trying to win the game. If they do that, then it's definitely still set up nicely for Friday and the Roses match. And if they beat the Yorkies on Friday, well, it's all systems go for Sunday against Durham, isn't it? Simple as that, isn't it?
Well, yeah, it makes it a very nice week to be a Lancashire player, to be honest. Because it's simple stats, with some nice big games in there. And I think they'll be going into this evening feeling confident, having got a winning under their belt against, like you say, the same team not long ago. At their home ground is a bit of a fortress for Lancashire over the years. So I think lots of chest out, good hard cricket this evening, and Lancashire feel like they should hopefully get the job done.
Does it make it a little easier when you have such clarity, knowing that there's no kind of middle of the group stage? If we lose, it doesn't matter, we can make up. They know what's required. Does that help?
It does. It definitely focuses the mind. You play a lot of cricket in the season, and when things are a little bit grey, it can sometimes be difficult to sort of really get yourself as a team into the place you need to be. But with the week that you've got now, I'm sure all the chat would have been in the build-up to this that you've got 3 games this week. They are knockout cricket, and they'll be raring to go.
Starts right now. It will be James Anderson from the Anderson end. Donald's on strike for Derbyshire. Slip in place. Anderson's in and bowling. And that's just tapped away towards the offside for no run. The conditions are pretty perfect. Quite a strong breeze blowing across the ground, left to right, as we look from the Brian Statham end. We're looking at the flags on the roof of the pavilion. It's quite a strong crossfield breeze, which might assist batters kind of hitting it out towards the hotel side.
It will do, but I think the main thing will be there's a shadow right on a length for the batsman, which will be putting him off, I have no doubt.
Yes, the floodlight pylon shadow. Here comes Anderson bowls. Oh, he's gone after that as Donald. Almost swings himself off his feet, playing a miss and through to Matthew Hurst. A couple of dot balls to start the over.
And Jimmy, I'm sure experienced campaigner, he'll be eyeing that, because just at the edge of that shadow is just about the length that he'll be looking to hit. And it does play on you, especially at this level with the pace of the ball. Just a little bit of change from light to dark can just put you off.
Here comes Anderson once again. And over the wicket, Donald. Well, he gets his first run here. It's not quite, I don't think, where he was aiming for. He comes off more the inner half of the bat, just deflects up towards mid-on, but Donald's up and running, as indeed a Derbyshire, so 1 without loss halfway through the first over. And that brings Martin Anderson on strike for Derbyshire. So they come into this game the bottom of the North group, 5 defeats from 8. The leaders are Notts, 7 wins from 10 with 28 points. Yorkshire second, 6 wins from 10, 26 points. And then there's that 10-point gap to Lancashire in third, who have 16 points. Anderson in bowls to Anderson. That's steered down towards third man. Jack Blatherwick fields, and the run there for Martin Anderson. Score moves on to 2 without loss. And then Durham are fourth, 12 points, and Leicestershire Foxes fifth with 12 points.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting week for Lancashire, isn't it? Definitely need to get some points on the board there, close that gap, and put themselves into a position where they're not looking at the scoreboard.
Well, if they win tonight, it will take them to within 6 points of Yorkshire. There's an attempted ramp from Donald. Gets himself a little bit tangled up. Ball deflects off him some part of his body, and it bounces down to Matthew Hurst. And there's no ramp. Yes, they close the gap to Yorkshire with a win tonight, and then of course they would narrow it further if they were to beat Yorkshire on Friday, which would set it up for that final round of fixtures on Sunday. But we're kind of jumping a few hurdles down the track here, aren't we? It's a game in front of us that we should focus on. Here's Anderson, balls again, bottom edge from Donald, bouncing back to Anderson, who completes his first over and just 2 runs off it. So Anderson right on the money, as you'd expect. 1 over gone, Derbyshire 2 without loss.
Yeah, lovely first over there from Jimmy, really hitting the wicket hard. Everything you do here at Old Trafford being followed there hitting the wicket hard, getting that ball up round the chest of the batsman. Really aggressive bowling, and you could see the batsman not really able to cope with Jimmy in that first over.
Mitchell Stanley to open up the bowling from the Brian Statham end. Stanley back in Lancashire's side. It's the one change from the defeat at Trent Bridge on Friday, with Tom Aspinwall dropping out, but good to see Stanley back in the 11. And he's going to come charging in with Anderson on strike, and still Lancashire on the attack with a slip. Just a little swing away from Anderson, who drives it out through the offside, out towards the point boundary, and times it perfectly for 4. Joe Moore's unable to get round to cut it off, and Derbyshire move on to 6 with that loss.
Yeah, that's raced away. You can see the wicket looks really, really nice. It's just come onto the bat beautifully. He just leant on it through point. Even though Joe Moores was out there at deep backward point, he really couldn't catch that. It was quite a long way out there. So good signs if you're a batsman watching that from the change room.
Licking your lips at the prospect. 6 for that loss. Anderson's on 5. And it's Stanley for Lancashire. Strides in again, bowls. That's just deflected off the pad of Anderson. It's trickling down towards short fine leg. Don't think there's any bat on that. No, leg by. Score moves on to 7 without loss. Lancashire's 2 fielders outside the circle, down on the wide third boundary, and a deep bat with square legs. You've got Joe Moores just below the point on the wide third boundary, and Jack Blatherwick is at deep backward square leg. Jennings at the edge of the circle, it got a short third, and then there's a cover, extra cover and a mid-off. There's a mid-on and mid-wicket, and a short fine leg as well. 7 without loss. Derbyshire, who won the toss and elected to bat first. And then comes Stanley once more for Lancashire. Right arm over the wicket. Bowls, and that's lifted out towards the leg side, and it clears Jack Blatherwick. It's in towards the seating below the hotel. And back-to-back boundaries. 1-4 carved away through the offside, and 1 which has been launched out towards square leg for 6.
Yeah, just pick up, got his line and length slightly wrong there, into the pads, into the knee roll there of Donald. And with that gentle breeze, if you're batting out there today on a wicket, that boundary will feel quite short. So I wouldn't be surprised if he keeps targeting that leg side boundary from that end.
13 without loss. Donald on to 7 with that hit for 6. Stanley bowls again, gone for the wide Yorker. In the end, it's punched away through the offside. Liam Livingston will catch up with it down towards the boundary. They flirt with the idea of coming back for a third, but Livingston does well to scoop it up down by the boundary rope. So just 2 instead. The score moves on to 15 without loss. It is the same pitch that was used over the weekend for the England game, for the T20 match against India. So would that have had an impact in Derbyshire's decision to bat first on it?
I don't think so. I think the wicket, 40 overs isn't a lot of cricket on a good wicket. So I think it's just this kind of wicket, get some runs on the board.
Comes Stanley, balls again. That's hammered back over the bowler's head. It's over long arm. It's going to be 6. Well, that's a big hit again. Donald moves to 15. The second 6 in the over, and 18 off the first 5 balls, 21 without loss, 1 delivery to go of the second over.
Yeah, that was in the slot again, and didn't look like Donald tried to hit it that hard, but just so much confidence that he had more than enough to carry that little bit of a breeze blowing across the ground. And he just picked that up wide over long on, and that's probably gone 85 meters back. Like you say, as a batsman, you will be at the moment not wanting to miss out on this wicket.
Well, the 2 umpires are having a little look to see if the ball's still in one piece, rattling around in amongst the concrete and the plastic chairs. It's been retrieved and handed back to the bowler. So 21 on the board. 1 ball left of the second over. Here's Stanley in to Donald. That's going to be 4 down to fine leg. And that ends a very, very good over for Aaron Donald in particular, but Derbyshire in general. 25 without loss, 2 overs gone. I think 22 coming off that first over from Mitchell Stanley.
Yeah, just got his length and line wrong again there, trying to hit the wicket, keeper just straying into that leg stump, and it's just a free hit really for a batsman. That in 2020 cricket now, never going to look at anything other than just swinging hard. Just has to get a little bit on it, and it beat short 45 there for 4 runs. But yeah, as a batsman, that's just bread and butter nowadays.
Is that still one of your favourite fielding positions?
I can't. Yeah, 45. I can't understand it. I mean, on the odd occasion, if you hit him, I mean, you count yourself unlucky as a batsman. But I don't get why people stand there.
25 without loss. Here's Anderson for Lancashire, in and balls down the leg side, and called a wide by umpire David Mills, who's at the Anderson end. Former Lancashire batsman, county championship winner Stephen Moore with us tonight. Paul Shaw, former head coach of Lancashire Thunder. You'll hear from him a little later on as well. Coverage right across Lancs TV. We're on the BBC Sport website and Sports Extra and BBC Lancashire as well. So plenty of places to catch this coverage of this northern fixture from Emirates Old Trafford. 26 on the board for no loss, Derbyshire. 2 overs in. This is Anderson stepping to the leg side, pushes away into the offside. This will be tight. Throw comes in from Michael Jones, trying to run an Aaron Donald out. Well, a direct hit could have been very, very close. They've scrambled through for 1 instead. 27 without loss.
It was close. It would have been a third umpire help that. I think he probably just got home, but it was tight, very tight.
Brings Donald back on strike. He's got 19 off 9 so far. Anderson bowls, swings. Has he edged? He has. He's been caught by Hurst, and Anderson strikes. And a really welcome early breakthrough for Lancashire Lightning, especially the wicket of an Aaron Donald, who has got off to a pretty rapid start. 27 for 1. Donald departs, Anderson strikes, Hurst takes the catch.
Yeah, lovely piece of bowling there from Jimmy Anderson. He watched Donald give himself a little bit of room. He just hit that wicket really hard, and he's hit such a beautiful length here. Really got the ball fizzing through, and Donald just couldn't give himself enough room in his feet, enough space, and just a little light feather back to the keeper. Just tightened him up trying to hit it. Just a little edge. Lost his shape, but lovely bowling from Anderson, really hitting a lovely line and length here, making it very difficult for the batsmen to free themselves up. Showing all his years of experience.
Peels away in the celebration as Lancashire pick up the first Derbyshire wickets. 27 for 1 with 2 balls into the third over. Yusuf bin Naeem is the next batter, heading out to the middle for Derbyshire. It's an early breakthrough for Lancashire at Lightning. St Donald smoking around for quick fire 19. We're pleased to see the back of the Derbyshire captain. Jennings slots back in to slip straight away. Anderson sets off again. 27 for 1 in the third. Bin Naeem on strike, up onto his toes and defends it. Just drops it away into the offside. Anderson fields off his own bowling. And there's no run.
It really is a lovely bowling this from Jimmy. Just hitting such a beautiful line length, giving the batsman nothing to work with here. They're really forcing them to have to do something different. Donald trying to give himself space. Interesting to see what Bin Naeem does here.
27 for 1. Here's Anderson running in towards us. Balls. That's a little step to the leg side and cut away through the offside. Bin Naeem off the mark. 28 for 1. Expecting Anderson to bowl potentially 3 on the spin in this power play. It's been the trend so far this well, indeed last season as well for Lancashire when Anderson's been playing.
Yeah, well, I think at the moment he's getting the ball to talk a little bit. It's definitely zipping through. The batsmen are looking uncomfortable, and you know, in 2020 cricket, if you can get 3 fairly cheap overs in, it can really make a difference.
28 for 1. Anderson's back on strike, and his namesake is in and bowling a full-length delivery, which is pushed up towards mid-off. Liam Livingston fields, and there's no addition to the Derbyshire score. Martin Anderson, a batter walking away towards square leg. Ground filling up quite nicely. Unusual time, isn't it, for a T20 game? Unusual day for a T20 game, a Monday night.
Monday night, yes. After an England last 16 at
Yes.
2 in the morning, probably not ideal.
Anderson completes the third over. Balls, that's clipped away off the hip. Out towards backward square leg. Martin Anderson keeps the strike. He moves on to 7. So 3 overs gone. And Derbyshire 29 for 1. 3 into this innings. But still plenty in. Maybe 1 or 2 just feeling a little bit drowsy if they were up late or up early. Do you stay up late, or do you kind of set your alarm and get up? Or maybe do neither? Quite a few inside the ground that were up at 2 a.m. watching the football.
Those are the sports break inflatable sofas look about the place I'd want to be. Glorious sunshine. If I was up early in the morning.
Yeah. That's ideal.
That's ideal, yeah. Bit of cricket. Nice comfy sofa. Perfect. Sunshine.
Yeah. It's a perfect way to spend your Monday night. Here's Tom Hartley's left arm spin, swept away out towards deep backward square leg. And a bounce and over the rope and then towards the advertising board for 4 runs. Martin Anderson moves to 11. Derbyshire 33 for 1.
This feels like a risky tactical move here. Bringing the left arm spinner on, bowling to what will feel like quite a short boundary for the batsman with that wind coming across the ground there. Definitely an over. If I was a batsman, I'd be targeting here.
Anderson moves on to 11. Hartley in ball, steps to the leg side this time and carves it away through the offside. He's going to run away for 4 more. The sweep to square leg for the first boundary and the shot off the back foot through point. Back-to-back 4s. 37 for 1.
It's really difficult for the bowlers here. Hartley trying to get his line and length, trying to prevent being hit there on the leg side, but Anderson just backing away and carving it through. Nobody on the offside, just has to beat the inside ring.
Martin Anderson moves to 15, not out. And clips it away to the mid-wicket. They think of a single. They're sent back as Blatherwick sends one in, trying to run Bin Naeem out at the non-striker's end. But Blatherwick missed. He may well have been home. There's a bit of a yes/no about that, wasn't there? 37 for 1 the score. This is thrown just a little bit wider by Hartley and chopped away through the offside for a single. Anderson moves on to 16, 38 for 1. Brings Bin Naeem on strike. Dropping fielder out towards the mid-wicket boundary. Chap Blatherwick's got quite a lot of ground to keep across out at deep mid-wicket, and there's a long on down below us as well. Here's Hartley in and bowls, and he clubbers that over mid-off and all the way for 6 as well, down towards the boundary. Liam Livingston there just signaling that did cross the rope. So 6 off the bat of Bin Naeem. He moves to 7, 44 for 1, and a tricky 4th over this.
It is, yeah. It definitely feels under the pressure here for Lancashire.
Hartley in and bowls. That's cut away into the offside, fielded by Michael Jones inside the circle at cover point. End of the over. 15 coming off that. So 4 overs gone. Derbyshire 44 for 1 here at Emirates Old Trafford. Bin Naeem on 7. Anderson's on 16. Wicket to fall was an Aaron Donald, who was caught by Matthew Hurst off James Anderson for 19. And it will be 3 overs on the bounce for Sir James as he gets himself set to bowl over number 5.
Feels like a game of 2 halves so far. James Anderson, 2 overs for 6 runs. Plenty from the other side.
2 overs, 1 for 6. Anderson bowls again, and his namesake comes a step down the pitch and just whips it off his hip. Martin Anderson down towards fine leg for 4. He moves on to 20. Derbyshire creeping up towards the 50 mark here. 48 for 1 in the 5th.
Yeah, not much margin for error there for Jimmy. He saw the batsman come down the track to him. He tried to bang it in short, but just dragged it down the leg side and gave a free shot for Anderson just to help it on its way down to fine leg.
Moves on to 20 from 11 balls faced. Here's James Anderson Halls has worked her way down towards short throw. There's a bit of hesitation, a direct hit, and he's a mile out. That would have been a clear on that. It was a pick up and throw by Mitchell Stanley towards the striking end. And not for the first time, a bit of uncertainty when it comes to running between these two.
Yeah, look a little bit uncertain with each other in terms of calling. Both of them stop, start, and he was a good 5 meters out if he'd hit there.
He'd given up, hadn't he, really? He knew he was a goner with a direct hit. Oh, he's swinging through that is bin Naeem. Through it goes to the keeper, Matthew Hurst. If he connects with that, that's travelling a bit.
Yeah, plenty of bat speed involved there, yeah. It's interesting, they're trying to target Jimmy back over his head, but he's hitting such a good line and length. It's actually not an easy shot to do. He's getting that ball to talk just over the top of middle and leg stump there, tightening the batsman up.
49 for 1, we're halfway through the 5th over. Anderson's in and bowling, that's just nudged back towards him by bin Naeem. Snaffled by Jimmy Anderson, just scoops it up one-handed away to his right-hand side. And wanders back to his mark. Bin Naeem on 7. Derbyshire 49 for 1. It's been a bit of a quirky start, hasn't it? Say with pretty nicely figures from one end, but runs a little bit more free-flowing from the Brian Statham end. Anderson's in again. In the air. Moores underneath it and takes the catch. Anderson gets his second. Derbyshire 49 for 2. Bin Naeem out for 7, caught by Joe Moores at deep backward square leg off the bowling of James Anderson.
Yeah, just lovely bowling again. Really banging the ball into the wicket there. All he could do was try and target that leg side, but that boundary is going to feel big into the breeze, quite a long way out there, and Joe Moores is positioned perfectly there, backward square leg, and showing all his experience, Jimmy Anderson, making a batsman feel really uncomfortable about where he had any options to score runs, and ultimately just fell into the trap.
No mistake from Joe Moores. 2 wickets down in the power play. 49 runs on the board. Lost a couple of wickets in the process. The evergreen Wayne Madsen comes out.
It's extraordinary, really. You've got Jimmy Anderson bowling to Wayne Madsen.
Brilliant.
It's taking me back a few years, that. But I still feel like I should be strapping my pads on. I won't. It's a testament to both of them and their professionalism to be playing at this level still.
Who says it's just a game for the kids? 2 40-year-olds here. There's Anderson in and balls to Madsen, rocks back and then pulls it out towards Moores, who's 17 years of age. The other extreme, at deep backward square leg. End of another good one from Jimmy Anderson. And the Lancashire supporters inside the ground enjoying it as well. 50 on the board for Derbyshire, 5 overs gone, 50 for 2. Anderson 21, Madsen on 1. We're at Chesterfield the other week for the 4-day game between these two sides, and it was Wayne Madsen captains Derbyshire in the 4-day game, and obviously Jimmy does with Lancashire as well. So it was just lovely to see two old pros, out there in the middle of the toss.
Head over to lancastv.co.uk right now to get full coverage of every live stream, highlights and more.
Cup of tea and a crossword.
Here's Mitchell Stanley, he returns. So they've chopped and changed a little bit from this Statham end. Madsen's on strike, that's off the back foot and pushed away into the offside. Fielded by Tom Hartley inside the circle. That extra cover, and there's no run. Dot ball to start the 6th over, the final one of the power play.
Both sides will be fairly happy with the start of this. The wicket looks like a good wicket, and Derbyshire haven't quite taken advantage of 3 overs from the Jimmy Anderson end. So both will be fairly happy at the moment.
1 ball into the 6th over. Stanley sets off again. Striding in and bowling. Oh, has that just got enough to clear Jennings? It has, only just. Leaps up Jennings, one-handed, both feet off the ground. But even Jennings and all the height he has couldn't quite get fingertips to it. Down towards the boundary at third man for 4.
Yeah, that ball got big on Madsen, trying to play it off the back foot through the offside, but the ball just climbed at him and he was off the ground trying to play a back foot drive, shoulder of the bat. And shows how good the wicket is. Still sailed comfortably over Jennings' head.
Madsen moves to 5. Stanley starts in again, 54 for 2 in the 6. Stanley balls, full of ball, driven away by Madsen. Bouncing to Jones at cover, there's no run. That previous delivery from Stanley and that extra kind of almost steepling bounce he gets there, is that, I mean, that's a real weapon that he's got, isn't it? I guess, but the fact that the way he's built as well.
Yeah, big, tall, strong lad. He definitely can get the ball to steeple on you a little bit. You could see that caught Madsen by surprise. Rattled the shoulder of his bat and actually put him on the next ball was really full, and Madsen was sort of sat back in the crease there and mistimed that drive because of it.
Stanley's in again to Madsen, steps to the leg side, and in the end the ball just flashing past his bat and through to Matthew Hurst, maybe just trying to steer it down towards third man.
It was not a great shot that from Wayne Madsen. He was relying on some hockey skills to get him away with that one. It looks like he's unsettled a little bit from the 2 balls before. That steepling bounce just put him back in the crease a bit, and that was trying to give himself room. It was never there to play, and nothing shot really. All he could do was get out of that.
54 for 2. Much better second over this for Stanley. Full and wide and pushed up towards mid-off where Liam Livingstone feels. They scamper through for a single. Madsen moves on to 6, 55 for 2. Excellent comeback, isn't it, this from Stanley in his second over?
Yeah, it's looked really strong this over. I think just having a couple of fresh faces at the other end to bowl, that's helped him. A little bit of a break in between as well. So
Martin Anderson's back on strike. Liam Livingstone's doing a few stretches at mid-off, maybe some spin. Once we're out of the power play, Stanley bowls, and again that just rises as Anderson looks to try and cut it. In the end, plays underneath the ball and taken by Matthew Hurst. Well, that's a fabulous second over by Mitchell Stanley. And just 5 runs coming from it. 55 for 2, 6 overs gone.
Head over to lancastv.co.uk right now to get full coverage of every live stream, highlights and more. Head over to lancastv.co.uk right now to get full coverage of every live stream, highlights and more.
So a good over, and I would say Lancashire have come out of the first 6 pretty happy with where they're at.
Yeah, 55 for 2. So the back of a couple of batters in that power play. Anderson takes a breather. 3 overs, 2 for 12. In the power play, he's been replaced by Liam Livingstone. And he bowls to Wayne Madsen. That's worked her way through wide mid-on for a single. Up comes Michael Jones from the boundary below the pavilion. Madsen moves on to 7, so 56 for 2. Livingstone now to Anderson, step to the leg side and chops it away into the offside. It's always wide, long off. Gathered by Ben McDermott. Again, they've slightly misjudged a lack of communication between the Derbyshire batters. And Madsen's halfway down the track, wanted to come back for another one.
I think Anderson must be speaking a different language out there to his partner so far.
Struggling a little bit to get it right. Swept by Madsen out towards the leg side, but there is cover out there for Lancashire. Joe Moores picks it up at deep mid-wicket. And score moves on to 58 for 2. Madsen moves on to 8. Livingston spins the ball from one hand to the other. Balls again, pushed through the offside. Just for 1. The score moves on to 59 for 2. So a single off the first 4 deliveries of this Liam Livingstone over. Madsen waits. Looks to sweep. It's in the air over the square leg umpire. And again, there's a bit of hesitation. They do come back for 2. The throw comes in from Tom Hartley.
Liam Livingston not too happy with that fielding. He definitely wanted them to keep it down to 1 run there.
61 for 2. Final ball of the 7th over. Livingston balls to Madsen's off the back foot. That's chopped away as with the offside. McDermott sweeps up on the long off boundary. End of the over. It's a 7 gone. 62 for 2. This is across BBC Radio Lancashire. Just a reminder for you that from 7 o'clock commentary will continue on our FM.
Head over to lankstv.co.uk right now to get full coverage of every live stream, highlights and more.
Bowling change here at the Statham end. It's a home debut for Lancashire Lightning's Shadab Khan, who's into the attack. Been played on the road with Lancashire over the course of the last couple of weeks. Now playing here at Emirates Old Trafford in Lancashire colours for the first time. And he's in and bowling to Madsen. That's off the back foot. Tap down the ground for a single. Madsen to 12, 63 for 2. Stephen Moore has left us, and Paul Shaw is alongside me. Evening, Paul. Are you well?
Good evening, Scott. Good evening, everyone. Yes, very well indeed. What a beautiful evening here at Emirates Old Trafford. Just a light breeze blowing across the ground. To our right here as we look across at the old famous pavilion.
Shadab's in for Lightning. That's cut through the offside, out through point by Anderson. Just for 1. Picked up by Moores, who does really well. He's such a good outfielder for Lancashire, is Joe Moores. Make sure there's no further runs taken.
Evenly poised this game, isn't it? 64 for 2 of 7.2. Madsen at the crease, the experienced Madsen.
Shadab in and balls to Madsen. Pushed out towards the onside for a single. Score moves on to 65 for 2.
Quite important for Lancashire Lightning to remove Madsen because he's the glue that holds this Derbyshire Falcons team together. So we'll play fairly unorthodox, but also look to rotate the strike.
Shadab balls and driven through mid-off by Martin Anderson again for a single. 66 for 2. Anderson moves on to 25. So again, a run off every delivery so far. 4 coming off the first 4 balls. Here's Shadab for Lancashire in balls. Madsen looks to sweep. He likes the LBW, yes, and he gets it as well. And a first wicket here at Emirates Old Trafford in Lancashire red for Shadab Khan. And Madsen departs for 13. Derbyshire 66 for 3.
Yeah, that's a big wicket for Lancashire, and they've struck a good blow there. The dangerous Madsen, as we said, holds the innings together for the Falcons. Shadab struck this evening. LBW. Yeah, it looks like it's gone straight on, doesn't it? Straight on looks pretty adjacent, and they'll be disappointed with that, with Madsen departing. But it's a very, very big blow for Lancashire. 66 for 3 off 7.5 overs.
So you've been out in the middle. You were out there for the toss and all that,
yes,
and all that jazz, weren't you? So what's the kind of view from out there, do you reckon, Shawsey? What it looks a decent pitch?
Yeah, decent pitch. It was used for the international on at the weekend, wasn't it? The England-India international. I think the Derbyshire captain thought, you know, he's going to have a bat first and then try and build his total to put Lancashire under a little bit of pressure. There is a few cracks on there, so I think it might spin a little, but it looks a good pitch still.
Shadab in and balls, and just pushed away by Montgomery, the new batter, down through mid-on for a single. Keeps the strike. End of the over. Terrific start for Shadab Khan. 8 gone. Derbyshire 67 for 3.
What is interesting, though, even though it's been played on, it's a good pitch. And what was interesting to see is Mitch Stanley really got it through, didn't he? And you know, really ruffled a couple of the Derbyshire Falcons batters. So there is still pace in here if you bend your back. Jimmy Anderson's bowled pretty well. Not seeing much spin yet, but as I say, there's just a couple of cracks in that surface, and it is dry, so that might start just gradually spinning as the as the evening goes on, as Livingston gets ready to bowl.
His second over of the evening. Forward goes Montgomery in defence, just pushing it calmly back towards Liam Livingstone. No run. He's got his boundary riders at long off and at long on, deep mid wicket, deep backward square leg, deep backward point as well. Goes up and over extra cover instead does Montgomery, and that'll bounce over the rope for 4. And he's found the one part of the ground really where there isn't a boundary fielder. Moves to 5, 71 for 3.
Yeah, very good shot this from...
Head over to lancastv.co.uk right now to get full coverage of every live stream, highlights
Gone with
and
the
more.
breeze. The breeze has just carried it over the infield. That's a very good shot. Really well played.
Livingston balls to Montgomery off the back foot. Drags it away towards John Moores on the deep mid-wicket boundary for a single. 72 for 3. We're halfway through the 9th over. Spin from both ends at the minute. Liam Livingstone from the Anderson end. He has Martin Anderson on strike. He's off the back foot. Oh, he's managed to get it through Shadab. Blatherwick does really well to cut that off. That's a fantastic piece of fielding, but he's so good, Jack Blatherwick. Saves a couple there for Lancashire. They've come back for 2. Probably could have been 4 quite easily.
Yeah, great bit of outfielding there from Blatherwick. Showed really good athleticism.
Forward defensive from Martin Anderson. Ball bouncing away towards the leg side.
Derbyshire Falcons will look to build this partnership at this stage. Put the bad ball away, build pressure by running hard. Be interesting to work out what total they're focusing on.
And let's run down towards short third where Stanley fields, and there's no addition to the score. It's the end of the over. 7 coming off it. 74 for 3, 9 gone. Montgomery 6, Anderson 27.
Do you think a reasonable total is here, Scott? 170, 180 maybe? In and around that?
Yep. You're in the game, aren't you, with that, I think?
I think so, yeah. I think there or thereabouts, aren't you? And if you bowl well, then you give yourself half a chance. But with Derbyshire being 3 down, almost at the midway stage of this innings, I reckon they'll still be targeting 170, 180 if they can get there.
India got 190 over the weekend in the T20 here. That wasn't enough for them. That's pushed away into the offside by Montgomery. Through extra cover for a single. 75 for 3.
The ground does look well, Scott, doesn't it? With the sun blazing across the ground. It's beautiful ground now, this.
Sun always shines on this side of the Pennines, Paul, you know that.
Head over to lancastv.co.uk right now to get full coverage of every live stream, highlights and more.
For the offside by Martin Anderson. Again, there's a bit of uncertainty. Are they running, are they not running? They have gone through for 1.
Yeah, there's certainly been a few fumbles in the field at times, hasn't there? And uncertainty in terms of decision making with the batting pairs.
Montgomery's back on strike. Shadab in balls deep in the crease, just runs it away into the offside and jogs through for a single. 77 for 3. Yeah, it's actually quite a decent crowd as well tonight. And it's not, I guess, the easiest fixture, is it, to sell on a Monday evening, but especially in a week which has a Roses fixture to end it as well. It's driven through extra cover by Martin Anderson for a single.
Yeah, the Yorkshire fixture at the weekend, is it Friday evening?
Friday evening.
So that must be close to being sold out, I would have thought. 1,000, maybe 2,000 tickets remaining.
Shadab to Montgomery. The reverse sweep is out. He wants the LBW. The umpire doesn't agree.
Just going down, maybe.
For the reverse.
Yeah, I think it was just down leg side.
78 for 3. Final ball of the 10th over. Shadab balls. That's pulled out towards the mid-wicket boundary. Blatherwick in a blink of an eye gets across and scoops it up. And through they go for 1. So that's the halfway stage. 79 for 3. 10 overs gone and 10 to come. Montgomery's on 9. Anderson's on 29. They'll Derbyshire losing.
Head over to lancastv.co.uk right now to get full coverage of every live stream, highlights and more.
Sure what to make of the mascot. I don't think Lancashire should be too concerned. I don't think his job's under threat there. Past the moustache,
Oh, he can pull that moustache, can't he? He can pull that off, certainly.
Hartley's back into the attack, playing a miss by Montgomery. Snaffled by keeper Hurst, who's standing up behind the stumps. Hartley's left arm spin.
Sure.
The reverse sweep from Montgomery brings him 1. Moves into double figures with that. 1 to 10. Score moves on to 80 for 3.
Good shot that from Montgomery. Just reversed it behind square. Keeps the strike rotating. Not wanting Hartley to settle at all here.
Hartley's left arm spin around the wicket. Anderson sweeps. Blatherwick's out there again to field. To get through for 1. Anderson moves on to 30 from 23 deliveries.
Quite an important phase of play this for both teams. Lancashire wanting to break this partnership before it gets set, and Derbyshire building it so they can accelerate.
It's cut out towards McDermott on the point boundary. Only 1 though. It's good ground fielding, isn't it, from Lancashire again? They've managed to keep the majority of these attempts to come back for 2 to a minimum.
Yeah, McDermott covered the ground pretty quick there, didn't he? Got to the ball and released it quickly.
And again, skipping towards him is Martin Anderson. That's nudged away through the leg side for 1. He moves on to 31, 83 for 3. 1 ball remaining of the over. And Tom Hartley have enjoyed a slightly more calmer 5 deliveries so far. Can he get through the over? Just 4 runs coming off this Tom Hartley over. Montgomery's back on strike, just messing around with his boot laces there for a second, but I think he's good to go. 1 ball left of the 11th. Hartley stops and then goes back to his mark. In again and balls. That's carved away through the offside. Good tumbling stop by Shadab. Actually the ball in the end just bouncing clean and free of his hands. It was a very good effort to stop it away to his right on the tumble, but got a bit of misfortune with the way it kind of slipped out of his grasp, and they have come back for 2. But
Head over to lancastv.co.uk right now to get full coverage of every live stream, highlights and more.
They'll be relatively pleased with that as we look at the scoreboard with 11 overs completed so far. 85 for 3. Montgomery on 13 off 12, and Anderson on 31.
Will be spin to continue from both ends. 3rd over for Shadab Khan. Oh, it's a full toss. That's launched out towards the leg side. Can Blatherwick get in position? It clears him and over the rope, and it's gone for 6. 91 for 3. 6 off the first ball of the 12th over.
Yeah, this is a good contact. It's just over pitched, isn't it? Lawful toss, but the contact is beautiful. It goes sailing over long on and clears the boundary by a reasonable amount. Never really in doubt from the contact from Anderson.
Should have balls again, flatter and quicker to Anderson, pushed away to the offside. Bit of a fumble by Keaton Jennings. And they managed to sneak through for 1. Seems to have said that Lancashire's ground field has been good. They've made a couple of a couple of little fumbles, haven't they? But they have been good in the main. 92 for 3. 7 off the first 2 deliveries. Down towards Liam Livingston on the long on boundary for a single. Montgomery on to 14 now, 93 for 3. Halfway through the 12th over. It's a long off and a long on down below us here. There's a deep point, a a deep mid-wicket and a deep backward square leg. It's pushed out towards Keaton Jennings. It's extra cover, and there's no run. He's pulled it back superbly here. The full toss, it went for 6 with the first ball, but then just 2 off the following 3.
He's bowled well, recovered well.
It's hammered away through the offside by Anderson towards Moores. Through for a single, takes him to 39, 94 for 3. Right, 1 ball left of the over. Showing all his experience here, Shadab Khan. He's dragged this back after that mistake with the first delivery. And run away for 1 through the offside. Well, that was damage limitation a little bit, wasn't it, after the first delivery? And he's I think he's done really well. 12 gone, 95 for 3.
Absolutely, he's recovered. Khan's really recovered after that first ball. And
head over to lancastv.co.uk right now to get full coverage of every live stream, highlights and more.
It's all about setting that foundation so they get to maybe over 15, maybe 16. And if this partnership's set, then they're going to look to accelerate. They're still playing relatively low risk at this point in time. But I'm sure if they bat for another 2 or 3 overs, then they'll be certainly looking to put their foot down.
It's Tom Hartley back in again. Montgomery gives himself a bit of room. Plays the ball out through point for a single.
The angle here is quite important for Hartley as he's coming around the wicket and they're looking to work him through the offside. So that angle into middle and leg and possibly an arm ball. It might bring LBW into play here. But the angle's pretty important.
Into Anderson. He has gone for the sweep and they're asking for the LBW. At least Tom Hartley didn't get an enormous amount of support from his mates. Umpire Mills with a shake of the head. Hartley into Anderson's. Again, he steps right across to this leg side and has to reach for it as Hartley pushes it wide of off stump and able to toe poke it out towards the offside for 1. 97 for 3. Brings Matthew Montgomery back on strike for Derbyshire. Hartley in and balls. And gets right across stumps there on the sweep. Trying to launch it out towards the leg side boundary.
Just got to be a little careful here. Derbyshire hitting into the wind. They hit that ball in the air. It's a longer boundary than people realise. Got an injury, have we?
Did it come potentially off the helmet? Yes, he did. He's gone to sweep and it's just caught Montgomery on the helmet. So to have the precautionary checks. So a little bit of a stoppage in play. 97 for 3 though. 4 balls into the 13th over, and the game set a little bit now, isn't it? This is kind of classic Lancashire T20 cricket here, isn't it? Because they're going to try and smother Derbyshire with spin from both ends, aren't they? Absolutely, and that's certainly a big part of Lancashire's tactical plan, and has been for some time, hasn't it, as well, really. So, but this is a big ground, so if Derbyshire play it well and able to hit the, if you like, the corners and really push hard for 2, get a boundary each over, push for 2, pick up the odd single, all of a sudden they could find themselves moving towards 180. But this partnership is really, really key, and obviously Lancashire are trying to break this partnership with spin at both ends. Montgomery's passed his checks. He goes on the reverse sweep for the next delivery. He actually gets 4. Gets it to the left of McDermott, who's out on the boundary at point, but the reverse sweep to his left-hand side and 4 runs. Yeah, that's a lovely shot, isn't it? Picks up the line early, slightly premeditated. If the ball's anywhere near his areas, that's where he's going to go for, but it's wonderful execution. Great shot. 101. Brings up the 3 figures for Derbyshire. And he plays that late and cuts it away through the offside. Oh, he's found back-to-back boundaries. Just beating the dive of Ben McDermott. Frustration for Tom Hartley. But Matthew Montgomery and has done well there, hasn't he, to find a way of scoring when it was pretty tricky up until that point. Well, he's working the angle now. We mentioned earlier that Hartley's using that angle to tuck them up, but he's getting way outside the leg stump
hit the ball on its head, if you like, hit it quite hard and timed it beautifully away through the offside. Beautiful shot, that. Great timing, great tactical play, great footwork, wonderful timing. Montgomery's on 24 and Anderson on 40. As I say, this partnership is developing nicely. 105 for 3 off just 13 overs.
39 runs now these two have put together from 31 deliveries. Shadab in for the fourth and final over of his allotted overs, and that's swept down towards backward square leg, and he starts this over conceding a boundary. It was 6 from the first ball of his previous over, and it's 4 on the sweep to get this over underway as well.
You just feel that slight momentum shift, don't you, in this partnership as the runs are just beginning to be accelerated. Momentum just going towards Derbyshire slightly.
109 for 3. Shadow balls again. Again gets the sweep out, gets it underneath the fingertips of Anderson at short fine leg. McDermott's been pretty busy in the last couple of deliveries. He's running away to his right this time in front of the hotel. Scoops up the ball. They in the end just settle. Well, they do come back for 2, don't they? Yeah. 111 for 3. Shadab balls. Very much fuller to Anderson, who pokes it away into the offside. And there's no run. Shadab spins the ball from one hand to the other. Twirls his way in. Balls run away through the offside. Jennings quickly across. They do get through for a single. 112 for 3.
Anderson 47 off just 34 deliveries.
He's having a pretty good season, isn't he, for Derbyshire in both formats. As Montgomery off the back foot works it down the ground towards Livingston for a single. He's got 4 50s already this season in the blast.
Yeah.
For Martin Anderson. Probably pick of the bunch for Derbyshire in red ball cricket. Is having a very, very good year with bat and with ball. Shadab in to Martin Anderson, who wants 2 here. He's got through the first quickly, but he'd be a brave man to take on Jack Blatherwick, who is absolutely outstanding in the field. They do take 1, end of the over, so 14 gone. It's 114 for 3, with 6 overs remaining.
He's got a feeling that the risk ratio's just going to go up here. I've got the foundation. 6 overs left. They may give it 1 more over, but I think, you know, that associated risk might just go up now.
With 7 wickets remaining, they've got the licence, I guess, haven't they, to kind of to do that. All right, Livingston's back. Down comes Martin Anderson, just on the walk towards Livingston, then pushes it through straight mid-on for a single. Takes him to 49 not out. 115 for 3. Brings Matthew Montgomery back on strike. Who have we not seen ball yet? We've not seen Blatherwick ball yet, have we?
No.
It's, Montgomery just pulls away. Anderson 3 overs, Stanley 2 overs, Hartley 3 overs, Livingston 2. Shadab Khan's balled out 4 overs, 1 for 29. Montgomery, see if we can find a gap through the offside, picked up by Shadab inside the circle. To get through for 1 though, and that is the 50 partnership. 116 for 3, 50 partnership of just 39 balls. And a very gentle ripple of applause around the ground.
We go.
Anderson down the pitch, it's in the air and it's caught. There's not a chance Blatherwick's dropping that. And Anderson has to go for 49, doesn't quite get to his 6th 50 in the blast this season for Derbyshire, falls 1 run short. An important breakthrough. Livingston strikes, 4 down, 116 for 4.
Yeah, the spinner Livingston has worked, and we talked about the wrist, just getting a sense that the wrist was going to go up. Didn't quite execute that well, but I tell you what, it's a good little knock. They'll be disappointed at this stage, but actually he's played pretty well in the context of the game. He's advanced down the pitch and then dragged it across. Deep square leg into the wind as well. Remember, they're hitting against the wind. But they would have, both batters there would have just been feeling the temptation to go a little bit harder and a little bit harder. It's well bowled actually from Livingston. Picks up the wicket, the important wicket there of Anderson. And the score is 116 for 4 with just 5.3 overs left.
Well, here hasn't he, Livingston? 2.3 overs, 1 for 16. Just keeping a check on Derbyshire's progress. 50 to put on together for that 4th wicket. But Anderson's out. Livingston in and bowls to Ross Whiteley. And Whiteley punches it away through the offside for 1. So 117 for 4. Brings Matthew Montgomery back on strike. Settles into his crease. And Livingston is in and bowls to Montgomery, and he's got one through. Montgomery's bowled. 2 wickets in the over. Derbyshire 5 down now, 117 for 5. And it's turning into a very good evening with the ball for Liam Livingstone. 2 for 17 with 1 ball left of his 3rd.
Absolutely, in an important phase of the game, just as Derbyshire looking to accelerate. It's a good delivery, he pushes that through, just grips slightly into the top quarter of middle and off. It's a good delivery from Livingston, and Lancashire in a very strong position now with those very two quick wickets. 117 for 5, 5.1 overs remaining. So Lancashire move now into the box seat. Livingston bowling very, very well, 2 for 17 so far. And Derbyshire's relatively strong position in the space of 3 or 4 balls has just changed. How quick does a game of T20 change?
Blink of an eye, isn't it?
Yeah.
A couple of balls later, all of a sudden there's a different feel to it. Amrit Basra is the new batter to join Ross Whiteley. So 2 new batters at the crease. Lancashire with a slip in place. It's a final ball of the 15th over. Here's Livingston in. That's run through the offside for a single. Basra keeps the strike as well. 118 for 5, 15 gone, and 5 remaining here at Old Trafford. Very nicely done by Liam Livingstone. A couple of wickets in the over. Lancashire once again will feel sure that they've got themselves a nice bit of control once more. 5 left here at Old Trafford for the Derbyshire batters. And they've got some work to do here, Stephen Moore, now, Derbyshire, having lost a couple of quick wickets. All of a sudden, going to be kind of rapidly running out of time.
Definitely feel a bit behind the game, Derbyshire do here, and Lancashire are spinning through the overs, literally, with their spinners.
They are indeed, yeah. Seen this a few times down the years, haven't we?
Tried and tested.
Yes, it is. About 20 years worth of being tried and tested. Here's Hartley in and balls. Forward defensive from Basra. Deflects it back to Tom Hartley. He's in for his 4th and final over. 118 for 5. Hartley balls again. That's hammered back down the ground by Basra. Hartley couldn't quite stop it. Hit pretty firmly to his left. Michael Jones is there behind him to help out.
And it's really frustrating as an opposition side, because you know this is what Lancashire are going to do. You know, this is how they operate at Old Trafford. And once they've got the momentum, it's so difficult to wrestle it back, because they just spin through the overs. They're good in the field. They know their angles. And you know you've got to hit boundaries, but it's a big ground to hit boundaries unless you can hit it clean.
Hartley left arm spin round the wicket. Sweep attempted. Oh, it's a fantastic effort to cut it off. It's short, fine leg. Whiteley gets through for 1, but that's fabulous work by the big bowler, Mitchell Stanley.
Yeah,
great stop.
Getting a round of applause from his teammates there. He went full length, and he had to use his full length to try and get his fingertips to that. It was fantastic.
It's a great reach, wasn't it, to get something on that? Dropped into the onside this time. Matthew Hurst has gone hurtling after it. Got through for a single. 121 for 5.
Yeah, and I think Whiteley wasn't interested in 2 there, but it was definitely at this ground. That's one of those ones where you do want to keep the fielders interested. right onto the 30-yard circle.
Hartley to Whiteley, launches it out towards deep backward square leg, and a terrific catch from Joe Moores. Whiteley's out for 2. Hartley celebrates. He's come back really well after a tricky first over. And Moores, well, he had a slightly shaky night at Derbyshire last week. He dropped a couple, but he's taken everyone that's come his way so far today. 121 for 6.
Yeah, no, lovely catch down low there, out on the boundary. He fielded beautifully, got himself into wonderful positions there on the boundary. Derbyshire have fell into the trap. Lancashire have made them hit to that long boundary into the breeze, and they've just fell for it time and time again, and they'll be really disappointed. It's really going to affect their score. But once again, the Lancashire fielders know where to stand out there on the boundary. Moores is a good 15-20 yards in from the boundary there, positions himself perfectly, taking his catch, diving forward, down low, had to judge it to perfection, and did a great job.
1 ball left at the 16th over. 121 for 6. Nick Potts is the new batter, and it's Tom Hartley in and bowls, and 2 in 2 for Hartley. Potts departs. He's been bowled by the Lancashire left-arm spinner.
Head over to lanxtv.co.uk right now to get full coverage of every live stream, highlights and more.
Melting away for them. 121 for 7.
Yeah, no, they've completely lost the momentum of the game now and don't know how to dig themselves out of this hole. Good spin bowling though, really fired that into the leg stump, turned out of the footholes into almost York the batsman there. But a great comeback after that first over where he was really under pressure in the first power play. He came on early and got taken apart. He's really come back nice and strong. More comfortable in the middle over, be able to sort of play with his field a little bit. He's been able to use that bigger boundary out there to get the batsman hit to it. And he'll be happy with those figures after his first over.
Yeah, without doubt. He had a tough night at Derbyshire last week as well. Only bowled 1 over, went for 23, then didn't bowl again in the match, and then didn't bowl at all on Friday evening against Notts Outlaws at Trent Bridge. Tom Hartley has come back very, very well tonight. Here's Liam Livingston, spin continuing. And Basra tucks it away towards square leg for a single. Jack Blatherwick fielding there. We've not actually seen him bowl yet. There'll be 3 overs to bowl after this one. And well, in theory, they don't need to use Jack Blatherwick. Anderson's still got 1 left and Stanley's got 2.
Yeah, I think Lancashire will be happy with this. Yes. Eating up the overs with the spin. Derbyshire don't really know how to counteract this.
Keane's on strike. Let's push through mid-on for 1 run. 123 for 7. And they're in danger of not really getting anywhere here, Derbyshire.
Yeah, they're probably about 20 runs behind where they'd want to be if they'd played some sensible cricket.
Livingston balls off the back foot by Basra, just dropped into the offside. Lancashire skipper Keaton Jennings is patrolling around inside the circle at extra cover. Gun up and over Jennings towards the wide long off boundary. Michael Jones maybe for a second contemplating to see whether he could take the catch, in the end just allows that to bounce in front. Certainly stops the boundary. They've only crossed for 1. 124 for 7. Livingston to Marqueen, that's driven but off the inner half of the bat, and he'll come back for 2. He moves on to 3. 126 for 7.
Yeah, a bit of a miss hit. There's obviously getting a little bit of bite out of the surface the spinners have. Big thick inside edge, but that allowed him to get 2 runs.
Livingston to McKean. He's down the pitch and hammers it back over the bowler's head. Has he got enough to clear? Well, he hasn't. It's a brilliant effort, and on the boundary to save probably 6. I mean, it's a fabulous effort just to get something on it to try and stop it going for runs.
It's got to be about 5-10 yards over the boundary almost. He's had to dive over the boundary to take the ball one-handed over his head. He's in the air, he's caught it and thrown it back, and it's one of those ones where maybe his foot was on the ground, but I'd give it to him. The effort to take that one-handed over your head and then flick it back while you're in mid-air before you touch the ground on the outside of the boundary. It's a wonderful athletic piece of fielding. They do practice it. You see the guys they're out there, they train every day at it, but still wonderful athleticism.
Great effort from Michael Jones. How on earth he's managed to get up and reach it and flick it back, as you say. He's beyond the boundary rope, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a good, 5 foot, 6 foot over the boundary rope when he's taking it and then flicking it back behind him before he hits the surface.
Right, 3 overs remaining. Mitchell Stanley is back. And bowling. And that's driven to Jennings at mid-on. There's a direct throw towards the stumps at the bowler's end, and it's cleanly hit by Jennings, but they have got through safely for 1. 128 for 7.
Yeah, nice throw, but Lancashire won't worry about the odd single here and there. As long as they're keeping the boundary count down now, they'll be quite happy with where the score ends up.
Yeah, ones are like dots, aren't they, basically, for Lancashire here?
Yeah, Lancashire will be fine as long as they keep their momentum, not losing any boundaries in these last few overs. They'll be quite happy going into the changeover.
Stanley over the wicket, balls. That's clipped away off the pads by Basra. Again, the nearest to it, I think, he's the wicket keeper. Matthew Hurst has absolutely legged it across the fielding circle. Must have run 40 yards there trying to get to the ball. Managed to get through for 1.
Good energy there from the keeper. But Lancashire will all feel like they've got lots of energy with the way they've been able to claw this innings along back into a nice healthy place for themselves.
129 for 7. It's worked out towards the leg side by Mokeem. Just for a single. Speed gun has that at 88 miles an hour, that delivery from Mitchell Stanley.
He's bowled with some lovely energy. Once again, he went for a lot of runs in that first over. It would have been easy to lose it and not come back, but he's come back really strong.
Stanley to Basra. It's flicked away in the general direction of wicketkeeper Hurst. He has to swing around maybe 15 yards or so to his left. Ball bouncing onto the grass, and they get through for a single. But that's absolutely fine. Lancashire won't be too bothered about that. 131 for 7. 2 balls remaining of the 18th over. Doesn't feel like, at the minute at least, Derbyshire had any sense of kind of momentum into this back end of the innings. It's kind of stumbling their way through it. Stanley to Mokeem. I'm not sure what that's come off. It's come down towards the keeper. He's going to rock back and try to hook it, launch it out towards the leg side. It's hit some part of the bat, I think. Has he been given us a run? He has.
I think he looked like he had maybe a bit of glove onto the shoulder, but he was all cramped up. It was once again a really heavy ball into back of the length, steepling bounce, batsman backing away, trying to give himself room, but he had nowhere to go and just beaten for pace. Ended up just gloving it into the shoulder and sort of lobbing back towards the keeper.
Right, 1 ball left of the 18th. Basra's on strike, Stanley in and balls, whipped away towards the leg side. Blatherwick's there to field. And that's another terrific over by Mitchell Stanley. Seen some great comebacks, haven't we, from Lancashire's bowlers tonight? The Tom Hartley after his first over, then the comeback he made, and Stanley going for plenty in his first. I think he went for 21, didn't he, in his first over? Yeah. He's now gone 3 overs for 31, so it's a fantastic response.
Absolutely, no. Really hit his line in length after that first over. And this wicket is perfect. This is just what you'd order if you're a Lancashire captain. A wicket that's got pace and bounce, plays into your seamers, preference to be able to hit the wicket hard and get it through above hip height to the batsman, and then it's got a little bit of turn to it. If, you have to be on your game as a batsman. It feels like you can score quickly on this ground, but you have to be on your mettle, and Lancashire have definitely outplayed the Derbyshire batsmen so far this evening.
And it looks like just the 5 bowlers are going to be used, of which 3 of them are spinners. It will be Anderson to come back, so presumably Stanley will bowl the last. So Blathwaite doesn't get a turn with the ball tonight. He'll be busy in the field though. It's Anderson to Basra. Pulled out towards Moores. Deep mid-wicket. They're going to come back for 2. It might be tight. He's gone. McKean's been run out. Again, Moores is live wire out in the deep for Lancashire. Clean pick-up, terrific throw, right on the money. Anderson says, well done, Joe Moores. Great work there from the young fielder. And Derbyshire lose their 8th wicket, 133 for 8.
Yeah, wonderful piece of fielding there. Jimmy bowling a slower ball there, and the batsman, all he could do was just swivel the ball out into deep mid-wicket, where Moores was like a rocket around there, just whipped it low. He kept it low as well. Very good fielding there, because Jimmy's looking into the sunshine, didn't want to have a loopy ball there, and kept it nice and low, skimming along the deck, and just a little pickup. So yeah, textbook, just what you train. The coach will be very happy with that piece of fielding.
Uncle Pete will be very happy with that, won't he?
Absolutely, Uncle Pete. No, beautiful piece of fielding. Anybody watching it?
He's absolutely gun fielder for Lancashire. Jack Morley's a new batter. Anderson's in. Basra's on strike, and he's rocked back and hooked it out towards deep backward square leg. Well, he's found a boundary. They've been few and far between at the back end of this Derbyshire innings, but he's managed to find the ropes there, or clear the ropes there. 1 bounce for 4.
Yeah, banged in short, bounce a length, and just a little bit missed his line, so the batsman could just hoik it away around behind square. 4 runs.
138 for 8. Anderson balls shoveled away off the hip out to Moores. Yep, do not be taking on his arm. Again, he's lightning across the ground and restricting the Derbyshire batters to just 1.
You can see one good piece of fielding like that, and you can see the batsmen were never considering 2 there. They probably could have got 2, because it was a pretty poor throw that time. it was miles away from where the keeper wanted it, but he had bought himself the credit from that beautiful piece of fielding at the start of the over. You can see now they're having to think, because you've got the left-right hand combination, and Jimmy knows he doesn't want to be bowling to that side there. The left-handed batsman now is hitting to the shorter boundary with that gentle breeze across, trying to get this outside the off stump.
Anderson to Morley. He's driven into the offside. Tumbling stop by Jennings. Morley gets through for 1. 140 for 8. Brings Basra on strike.
Yeah, lovely bowling from Jim, and you can just see his experience. You know, with the right-hander on strike, hitting to that long boundary, he's really just banged it in, getting the ball up around chest height, forcing the batsman to really hit only one side out to that deep boundary. That time going full outside off stump.
140 for 8. 2 balls left for Anderson tonight. In and bowls. That could be too far. No, it's fine.
Oh, brilliant. Brilliant once again. I mean, it's just, you know, textbook bowling there. Batsman backing away, because all Jimmy's done is bowl it heavy into the wicket, and he's just gone wide outside off stump, and the batsman's about 3 meters from the ball.
It's outstanding, isn't it? Yeah.
It is. It's just, it's brilliant. Lovely bowling. Double bluffed the batsman.
Yeah, perfectly inside the guidelines. 140 for 8. Pulled. Again out towards Moores. Oh, they're going to come back for 2. The throw comes into the non-striking end, and they have managed to smuggle a couple there to end the over. Anderson finishes 4 overs, 2 for 21. We have 1 over remaining. Lancashire's bowling figures there, just the 5 U's, of which 3 have been spinners. Livingston 1 for Shadab as well. It will be Mitchell Stanley to sign off from this Brian Statham end.
Yeah, no, it's a really lovely set of figures there from Jimmy Anderson. Gave a lot of control for Keaton Jennings from that end, from his namesake's end. From his named end, actually. Must be nice bowling.
Yeah. You had the luxury, Keaton Jennings, of not having to use all these bowlers tonight. Spoiled for choice. It's a huge swing and a miss from Morley. Again, we see that that bounce gets through nicely into the gloves of Matthew Hurst. Goodness.
He took a swing, but I reckon he could have had a barn door in his hand and he wouldn't have hit that. he could not have been further away from that ball if he tried. Steepling bounce, keeper taking it high above his head, and I think the batsman was quite happy to be a good 6 feet, 10 feet from the ball as it went past him.
142 for 8. Stanley to Morley. He's driven that towards wide mid-off. It might just get underneath Livingston's reach. It does. And Morley's cracked it away through mid-off for 4. He almost got to it, Liam Livingston. Couldn't just quite catch up with the ball, even with the dive.
I must say, he looked like he was running through treacle there, Livingston. He was showing all his years of franchise cricket there. That ball was just teasing him. Not quite Joe Moore's trying to get to that one.
He's got a few years on him now, hasn't he, Joe Moore's? 148 for 8. Stanley to Morley. He's managed to shove it away off his hip out towards the leg side for 1. Morley moves on to 6. 147 for 8. Livingston just twirling his right shoulder a little bit as well. It was a bit of a heavy fall, wasn't it?
He went down in stages, but that last stage was obviously high impact.
147 for 8. Might well be treated to a bit of a Liam Livingston show with the bat. A little later on, he's been in pretty stellar form in the last couple of weeks for Lancashire. Stanley to Basra, that's muscled out towards deep mid-wicket. Blatherwick feels, oh my goodness, there's going to be a run out potentially here. Well, there isn't. But the running from Derbyshire tonight has been all over the shop. 149 for 8.
And Stanley not happy with his fielder out there. He was screaming for the ball at the non-striker's end, and unfortunately Blatherwick threw it to the keeper's end. He is chastising him. Hands on his knees. How loud do I have to call for you to throw it to me? But yeah, not great running, but they got away with it.
Yeah, well, they've got away with a couple with that, haven't they, this evening. There's been 1 run out, but there probably could have been about 3. Right, 2 balls left, 149 for 8. Stanley balls. There's a top edge, and it's taken by Anderson at fine leg. And Basra departs for 17. Top edge flying down towards Anderson on the fine leg boundary. And Derbyshire lose their 9th wicket. 149 for 9, and Stanley gets his first of the evening.
I think Jimmy's relieved he caught that, because he came charging in from fine leg. He didn't get his line right there, and he thought the ball was in front of him. At the last minute, had to suddenly pivot to his left to suddenly take it.
Late adjustment.
A late adjustment. He's giving it the, oh, I knew that was going to happen, but I guarantee you he stood at fine leg now going, coming out of the sun into the shadows there. He almost misjudged that, but got the job done.
Right, Javid's the new batter. Well, it's a free hit, isn't it? Last ball this. And he can have a swing. Here's Stanley in to complete the innings. And that deflects off some part of the body out towards square leg. Morley wants to come back and try and run a second. It's a leg by to end it. It was all a bit messy at times from Derbyshire, but they've got to 150. 150 for 9. But I'm pretty sure Stephen Lancashire will be pretty happy with how it stands at the halfway stage.
They should be very happy with that. I think looking at how that wicket played in the power play, I think Lancashire will feel that, you know, that's probably 25 runs below par, which at Old Trafford on a lovely evening like this, with the batting lineup that they've got, some sensible cricket now, and they should be in a very strong position.
Well, players are heading off, and a very good night all round for Lancashire's bowlers and their work in the field. Derbyshire finishing on 150 for 9 from their 20 overs. So far so good for Lancashire Lightning in what is effectively kind of knockout cricket for them now, with 3 final group games to come and probably 3 wins needed to stand the chance of qualifying and reaching the knockout stages. At the halfway stage of this game, they will be pretty pleased with where they stand. For our viewers on Lancs TV, we can head outside and hear from Fraser. Here on BBC Radio Lancashire, we will just round up how it's looking in that Derbyshire card. So Martin Anderson on 49, the top score, and Aaron Donald on 19, Matthew Montgomery on 26, Wayne Madsen on 13.
Again, our spinners in the middle did a great job clawing it back, getting wickets, and we kept trying to attack, not just be on the defensive as sometimes you do in T20, but still trying to take wickets and bowl them out.
Was there a bit of a worry when Derbyshire early doors seemed to get off like a house on fire?
Yeah, I think that can always happen here though at Old Trafford. The wicket's normally pretty good. With a new ball, it comes on quite nicely, so we knew it was going to get harder as the game went on. So yeah, we just always sort of hung in there and hoped that we could get a few wickets to get us back in the game.
As I said, 2 for yourself, but they were shared around everybody. It's nice to see everybody chipping in with wickets.
Well, yeah, I think that's happened all season, really. If you do well, you can't rely on 1 or 2 people to do it, whether it's in the field or with the bat as well. So hopefully we've got a few guys that can go out there today and get some runs.
151 to win then, you give himself a real fighting chance here.
Yeah, I think we've got a good chance. Quick outfield, wind obviously going towards that boundary over there, which makes it quite a smallish boundary. But yeah, we've got back well to be able to get these runs.
Best of luck, James. Thanks very much indeed for joining us. 151 then, the total that Lancashire have to go for. We'll bring you that chase very, very soon.
Have you heard of United 2 before?
Do you like exams?
Because we don't do any traditional end-of-year exams.
If you're having a bad day, that shouldn't dictate whether or not you pass or fail a year.
We have 4 main subject areas:
Business, media, digital and sport.
You work directly with our industry partners to make sure you're ready for the real world.
teaching across 4 different campuses: the Old Trafford campus, UE92 Business School, the Player and Media Centre at Lancashire Cricket Club, and the Old Trafford Stadium.
You'll study 1 module at a time, as well as studying half days only.
Making time for work, hobbies, socialising, or your side hustles.
You'll secure a degree awarded by Lancaster University.
So what are you waiting for?
Join us at UE92.
Two names rich in history: Barton's, our family-run business with over 100 years of experience in drinks distribution, and Lancashire Cricket, a club drenched in tradition, heritage and globally recognised moments. Since 1917, Barton's has been supplying the finest wines, soft drinks and premium beverages across the UK, partnering with world-class brands to bring unforgettable experiences to every occasion. Now, we're excited to announce we will be bringing that same passion to cricket fans at Emirates Old Trafford. As the official wine, spirits and soft drinks partner of Lancashire Cricket, we're elevating matchday experiences, hospitality and celebrations across the next 3 years. From the first ball to the final cheers, Barton's is here to make every moment one to savour. Barton's and Lancashire Cricket, partnership built on passion, unforgettable moments and history.
Guys, make way for the designated driver.
When I was a kid, there was no professional women's cricket. I didn't even think that women could be professional sports people.
Especially early on, it just didn't really seem like there was a career in it.
To support myself around cricket, I had to work at the petrol garage.
I was the only girl, so I stood out.
I'd love for young girls to be able to dream about being an athlete and it to be achievable.
Thanks to the Hilton funding my contract, it's allowed me to play the game that I love all day, every day.
We're like an engine and we need to be fueled with the right gas.
Without funding, we can't be visible. You can't be what you can't see.
As a team, it feels like we're breaking boundaries.
Thunder and Lancashire always want to put women's cricket at the forefront, and now I think that's really shining through.
It's mad to think that without the Hilton funding, like, we wouldn't be playing cricket every day, training.
Well, we could be, but we wouldn't have any money.
We wouldn't, yeah, true.
Pasta Pringles!
Welcome to the opening day. Oh, that is a wonderful shot.
Sports Extra 2 as well for this fixture. Our viewers on Lancs TV will be back with us in the not too distant future as well. Been a bit of a frustrating season for Lancashire, but I mean, I'm obviously conscious that you've not seen much live, but in terms of this format in particular, you're kind of expecting, we just expect Lancashire to qualify, don't we, every year? I mean, we become a little bit blasé with it, I don't know.
Yeah, I think Lancashire have such a good record at home, and they've got a method that just translates well into 2020 cricket. And over the years, obviously that helps with the success, breeds success. So I think as a Lancashire fan, as an ex-player, you kind of just expect them to be there around, competing for finals day.
Yeah, which of course they could still do. Slightly changed this year because, of course, we've had such a long stretch where it's been two divisions, the top four get a spot. Now it's only the top two are guaranteed a spot. I think you can finish third and qualify, but you're not guaranteed it. So that makes it a little bit more competitive, does it? In a group that certainly has Notts and Yorkshire in it, and obviously Leicestershire have won it quite a few times. I don't know, what do you think, is it?
Yeah, I think it's strong, but I think equally as well, the extra travel, playing some of the other sides in a season that's already congested with travel. So it does affect a player. That I think in 2020 cricket, when you're a strong side, you don't really mind playing anybody. I don't think there's any sides that Lancashire should fear. I definitely, when I played Lancashire, there was nobody that we thought, I don't want to go out there and play against them. You always backed yourself, and I think Lancashire do. But it is a little bit more difficult when only top two sides go through, but there are less sides you're playing against. In that, I think the travel would have affected them, having to go down to Surrey, adding that in for just the 2020. It does take it out of you. If you had breaks, I think the players have said this year after year. It is a crazy schedule as a professional cricketer to try and get through a season and not feel burnt out.
Which makes James Anderson even more remarkable, doesn't it? That he's played every single county championship match. He's the only bowler not to have been rested for one of them. And now he's back in their T20 side as well. I mean, how he keeps scoring, it's stunning, isn't it?
Yes. It's a marvel of nature. I mean,
he is, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, when I was playing with Jimmy, we were managing his body then. Even, I would have lost a lot of money on Jimmy still be playing now. But he is an ultimate professional. Anybody who's the best seam bowler has ever played Test cricket, and that's down to it's not easy to turn out day in and day out and get your body in the right place to be able to deliver the skills that he has. And, he's figured it out, and yeah, he's a model professional, I guess.
Well, he's done his work for the night. There's James Anderson. The two opening batters are heading out in the next few moments for Lancashire. That's Keaton Jennings, the captain, and Michael Jones alongside him. And Aaron Donald, the captain and keeper of Derbyshire, gathering his troops in a little team huddle. The umpires are heading back out. The target is 1-5-1 for Lancashire Lightning to win this game. Just a little reminder as to where we're at in terms of these group phases, the three different groups that we've got now, the Central, West, North and the South group. It's looking at some of the leaders in the other groups. Northamptonshire Steelbacks, 8 wins from 9, sitting top of their group. Gloucestershire, Worcestershire, Glamorgan all bunched up behind them. In the South group, Hampshire Hawks, 7 wins from 9, top of their group. Surrey and Essex are together with 20 points in second and third place. So it's when you look at the teams in third place, Worcestershire 24 points with a better run rate than Lancashire. Essex in third, 20 points with a better run rate than Lancashire, which is why it would appear the third spot in the North group probably won't be good enough to qualify. So top 2 is required, and for Lancashire supporters, our viewers and listeners, Lancashire win their final 3 games might be enough. They still need a bit of help. They'll need Notts or Yorkshire to drop points. Actually, Yorkshire and Nottinghamshire play each other on Sunday, the final round of group fixtures. So if Lancashire win tonight, and if they can beat Yorkshire on Friday, then they are still in with a chance. It will go to Sunday to be certain as to who will qualify in those top 2 positions. So I guess that's the best that Lancashire can hope for at this point, to try and win their next 2. Here we go, 1-5-1 is the target to win the game. I'm going to start with some left arm spin from Jack Morley. Jennings will clip it out towards square leg for 1. And Lightning are up and running. So it needs a bit of a late surge in the group campaign. If they win their next 6 matches, they'll probably win the competition.
Well, exactly, yeah. And it is funny how this competition can do that. You can sort of, be a little bit here or there, and suddenly you just get a bit of momentum at the right time. And that's all you need, like you say, taking into finals day. 6 wins, you've got a trophy in your hand.
And you might have a couple of players back for Sunday. As Morley's in and bowling to Jones. It's eased into the offside for no run. So one of the fabulous 4 that are currently away on international duty, I think 2 of the fabulous 4 potentially could be available on Sunday for the game against Durham. Morley bowls again, and Jones taps it down back towards the Derbyshire spinner, cartwheeling away to his right to field, and there's no run. Halfway through the first over. 1-5-1 then, Lancashire Lightning's target for victory. Jack Morley clutching the ball towards his chest and bowls, and turned into the onside again by Jones, and this time he does get the ball away with enough on it to get underneath the body of Bin Naeem, and Jones gets his first run, so 2 without loss to bring Keaton Jennings on strike. There's Morley into Jennings. That's worked off his front pad, just turns it out towards deep square leg for 1. Calmly tucked away for a single. Jennings doubles his score. He moves on to 2. Lancashire 3 without loss.
Lancashire have the benefit, because they're only chasing 150. They don't have to go really big at the first few overs of this power play.
Morley to Jones. Jab back towards Morley. Does everything he can to try and get across the ground and cut the ball off. Couldn't quite stop it, but there is no run. So yeah, pretty calm start to the run chase. Just 3 off it, but that's all right, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, Lancashire will be happy to make sure that they don't do anything silly in the power play, knowing that, you know, it is a good wicket. It did play well on the power play when they were bowling, and they can make up a lot of runs in the last of the 3 overs. And you know, you've got the power of Livingston in your armoury as well. So it gives you a lot of confidence when you're only chasing 150.
Would be spin from both ends. Double spin to get us going. So Matthew Montgomery.
Brave, I would say, from this side. Short boundary. Second over, we'll see.
Montgomery to Jennings. Jab back towards the Derbyshire spinner. Stops it off his own bowling and there's no run. Top ball to start the second over. He hides the ball behind his back, Matthew Montgomery. Then it emerges at the last minute. Clobbered out towards mid-wicket by Jennings. All the way for 6. 9 on the board now. 2 balls into the third over. Sorry, second over.
I was always nervous. I'm not sure Keaton was going to let him bowl to that short boundary. Now, if I was Keaton, I'd be saying, don't worry, Jonesy, I'll stay this end, this over. It's a tough gig as a spinner now. You've only got 2 fielders back. There's a lot of confidence as these top order batsmen now on a good wicket.
9 without loss, Montgomery. And again to Jennings. Pushed into the offside. Wayne Madsen gets across the ground to his left from extra cover to field. No run.
Nice delivery, that. Good length, tightening it up for Keaton Jennings there. Didn't feel like he could go back over his head. And a good change of field now as well. Pushed long on back.
Yeah, mid off inside the circle. Martin Anderson at mid on, goes back towards long on. And there's a deep backward square leg as well. Halfway through the over, Montgomery to Jennings. Just fills it away down towards short third man, and there's no additional run. Jennings looking over his shoulder out towards that leg side boundary. He's already hit 1 out there for 6. Montgomery to Jennings, and he thumps it down the ground and to the left of Whiteley, who's come up inside the circle at mid-off and down towards the boundary for 4. Lancashire Lightning 13 without loss, and 12 of them off the bat of their captain, Keaton Jennings.
Yeah, lovely shot there. Just gave himself a little bit of room. Now mid-off was up. He just knew that he had to just beat him to the left, and it was 4 runs all day for week.
Montgomery to Jennings, and that's 1 down the ground towards Anderson at long on, and Jennings keeps the strike as well. So 14 without loss, Lancashire Lightning. Target is 151. Jennings on 13, Jones on 1. Some supporters see themselves on the big screen inside the ground.
Yeah, thumbs up. The sun's shining. They would have liked that over from Lancashire. A very controlled over. No risks really taken, and easing that scoreboard along.
Another over of spin. Jack Morley. And his left arm spin from the Brian Statham end. The reverse attempted by Jennings. He gets enough to clear the infield. Nick Potts will catch it with it. Jennings comes back for 2. And he moves on to 15. The score moves on to 16 without loss.
Sensible batting there. He's gone for the reverse sweep. Everybody up on the offside. That is the small boundary. Once again, hitting with the wind, trying not to hit to that big boundary.
All balls to Jennings. That's turned into the onside. And there's no run. 16 without loss. Morley for Derbyshire. Down comes Jennings, works it through the leg side. He'll come back for 2. Ball scooped up by Ross Whiteley on the boundary below us, and Jennings moves on to 17.
Such good batting, though. You see the difference between the Derbyshire. He's placed that just wide of mid-wicket, so he gets 2 runs. Not a single. Lovely.
Morley to Jennings. Thuds into his pad. He tries to work it to the leg side. That's the outcome. Yeah, it is a leg bye. Jennings remains on 17. Score moves on to 19 without loss. Brings Michael Jones on strike. 2 balls remaining of the 3rd over. Jack Morley fizzes one in and hammered away through extra cover by Jones. And, beyond the reach of Wayne Madsen, the Derbyshire captain, trying to cut it off away to his right. Flashed away for 4. Jones moves on to 5. 23 without loss.
Yeah, Morley there looked like he didn't want to toss it up into that short leg side boundary there. So he tried to fire a quick one in, but Jones was prepared. He was aware, gave himself a little bit of room with his front foot and absolutely clubbed it through extra cover.
Morley to Jones, down on one knee, sweeping out towards the leg side boundary. Just for a single. Keeps the strike as well, so 3 overs gone. Lancashire Lightning 24 without loss. Jennings on 17, Jones on 6. The target is 151 to win for Lancashire Lightning tonight. Live here from Emirates Old Trafford, across Lancs TV, with BBC Radio Lancashire as well. And so far, so good for Jennings and Jones.
It's been a very controlled, steady start. You realise that Derbyshire have gone with three overs of spin, and they're going to have to stick or twist. And now they're moving onto the seam, and we'll see what Jennings and Jones do now. But yeah, last 3 overs of power play, I expect them to target the seam. Yeah.
Javed from the James Anderson end. Michael Jones on strike. It's chopped away into the offside for no run. Picked up at backward point. So a dot ball to start the 4th over. Jones on 6. Faced Javed at the game at the county ground just last week. A very good night for Derbyshire then. Bowled 4 overs and picked up 4 for 36. Again, pushed firmly away into the covers where Madsen fields what looks like a very hard used wicket.
It does. It's one of those ones where, you know, it definitely got a lot of pace and bounce in it, which is great for a batsman. But if the bowler can find that length, it can make life a little bit awkward for you. But it's if you're batting on this wicket, you think, if I could just get the pace of this, I could really feel I can get my hand through it and score a lot of runs.
24 without loss, back-to-back dot balls to start the over. In bowls and Jones. Well, he'll get runs through mid-off. Martin Anderson catch up with the ball eventually, like the ball was beating him and kind of wobbling away from his reach, but he just managed to track it down. And Jones comes back for 2 in the process. He moves on to 8, 26 without loss.
You can see the Derbyshire bowlers trying to learn from Lancashire. Hitting the wicket hard, trying to tighten the batsman up around the hip area, making it difficult to time any width, any length on you. You feel like you can pick it up.
Just 2 off the over so far. Shove it in to Jones up on his toes and tries to angle it down towards 3rd man. Jack Morley fields for Derbyshire.
Again, good line and length, really heavy ball into that hip. Jones just not able to find that width to get his hand through the ball and chopping it down into the ground.
26 without loss. Excellent stuff so far from Javed. Bowls to Jones. It's a good stop from Donald, but it is down the leg side, so it will be Pulled her wide. It's a good effort from Donald to get a glove on that. Leaping away to his left-hand side, it went pretty quickly.
Jones will be a little bit cross with himself. Free hit down the leg side there. Just beaten almost for a little bit for pace. It just got through him a bit quick, trying to whip it over fine leg over that lovely short 45 position there. It's a free hit.
28 without loss. 2 balls remaining of the 4th over. Jennings on strike facing Javid for the first time. And a gentle appeal from the bowler, suggesting that maybe there was a thin edge off the top of Jennings' bat as he went chasing after that delivery. Through it went to the keeper. And there's no run.
We've seen quite a lot of this. We saw this in the international match where, you know, with the new ball, the batsman just struggling to get that. The ball was climbing, steepling bounce on them. And it's been consistent tonight as well when the bowlers have hit that length. Just playing and missing, not able to ride that bounce and get a good clean hit on it.
Yes, there was a lot of that on Saturday, yeah, for that T20 international. Certainly early on, in the India innings especially. There's no mistiming that. Jennings has launched that out towards deep mid-wicket all the way for 6. Walloped away towards the stands by the Lancashire captain to end the over. Had enough of playing and missing. I'm going to swing through that, and he clears it nicely. 34 without loss, 4 gone.
And that's the paradox of this pitch, and the fact that, you know, a few balls before, playing and missing, steepling bounce, and then just happens to be in the slot, and it's like a rocket. It just feels like one of those wickets where if it's in that slot, you just don't even have to do much. It just sails 80, 90 meters into the crowd. Lovely shot. No margin for error for the bowlers.
Jennings on to 23. It's the final ball of the over that Jennings clubbed for 6. So back to spin. Matthew Montgomery, who bowled 1 over from the Anderson end, is into what was second from the Statham end. Jones takes a single into the onside. There's a little push out towards straight mid-wicket for 1. Jones moves on to 9. 35 without loss, Lancashire Lightning. Brings the skipper Jennings back on strike. Montgomery tweaking his field, so he brings up Martin Anderson from long on to mid on. He drops Whiteley back from mid off to long off, and now there's a deep square leg as well. So the 2 outside the circle are at deep square leg and long off. There's a short fine leg, short third, backward point, cover, extra cover, mid on, mid wicket. Madsen Fields for Derbyshire. And there's no addition to the score. Jennings just holding things up as fraction here, and there's just been a little bit of movement behind the bowler's arm, but all is well now. And there's Jennings, I think drags one on there. He's been bowled. Montgomery strikes. Derbyshire find their first wicket. 35 for 1, Lancashire Lightning, halfway through the 5th. Jennings dragging one back onto his stumps. He's gone for 23.
No, that was a really good piece of bowling, and Jennings is furious with himself. He got completely done in the flight there. Just held it back, did Montgomery. He's shot a few through, and that time he just took a little bit of pace off. Jennings caught half between trying to sweep it and try and push it down the ground, and got into a bit of a non-position to play the shot. Almost like half a hoik, half a sweep. He was completely done by the flight. Just held it back, stuck in the wicket a little bit, and done all ends up there. Good piece of bowling, not a great piece of batting from Jennings, and he is visibly upset with himself.
He said he dragged it on. I'm not so sure he did he?
No, he completely missed it. Yeah, and it was just a genuine held back a little bit by the off spinner, stuck in the wicket, turned a bit, and Jennings looked like he was trying to shape up to hit a big cow corner sweep shot, and then realised it wasn't there and tried to change his shot, and it's just done all ends up.
So captain departs. Liam Livingston comes out to the middle, so halfway through the 5th over. 35 for 1. Livingston off the back foot works it into the onside, and there's no run. Interesting ploy, isn't it, to use so much spin in the power play. It's also quite a brave move, I guess, as well, isn't it? Montgomery to Livingston. Just drops it down towards short fine leg and gets his first run.
You're hoping for some scoreboard pressure, but I don't feel like you got enough runs to do that, because you're using up good spin options in the middle of that innings where you want to spin through the overs.
Jones, who's managed to get bat on ball there and just paddles it down towards the fine leg boundary, and 4 runs to end the over, which was up until that point very tidy stuff from Matthew Montgomery, but 5 gone. Lancashire Lightning are 40 for 1. 5 overs into this run chase. 151 is their target to win.
Yeah, nice little finish to the over there for Jones. I think he probably feels like he hasn't got much rhythm to his batting. 13 off 12, hasn't really got anything out the middle of the bat, so he'll be relieved that he got that boundary at the end of that over. Probably needs to get a few more out the middle of the bat to start feeling like he's getting to grips with the pitch. Liam Livingston here on strike, last over of the power play. I'm sure he'll be looking to get a couple of boundaries if he can and just keep the momentum to go into the middle overs.
With Nick Potts in for Derbyshire, defended by Livingston. Taps it back to Potts. There's no addition to the score as we start this 6 over. Livingston on 1. Potts and Jones on 13. Lancashire Lightning have a pretty formidable record against Derbyshire. They've won their last 6 games here against Derbyshire. And he runs off the face of the bat down towards short third man for a single. Livingston moves to 2, 41 for 1. Looking to make it 6 successive home wins against the Derbyshire Falcons tonight, our Lancashire Lightning. Derbyshire only ever won 5 T20 games here in the history of the format. It's not a particularly happy hunting ground for Derbyshire.
They relish coming on a Monday evening.
No, it's Potts to Jones. Jones shaped to try and pull it. Ball just hits him and deflects down towards the keeper.
Just doesn't feel like he's settled. I mean, the wicket obviously has got a bit of tennis ball bounce to it at times, and it just doesn't feel settled, Jones, out there, and he's got to somehow find a way to just keep scoring, because not a lot of runs they need. Just needs to settle.
Yeah, 110 more runs required. And he's played that nicely away through backward point for 4 runs down towards the boundary. 45 for 1. Jones moves on to 17 not out.
And that was a much more controlled shot. They gave himself a little bit of room, opened up his front leg, and then instead of trying to really hit it, he just guided it almost like a late cut through backward point, using the pace of the pitch and the bowler speed of the outfield. Just a real gentle shot that raced away for 4 through backward point.
Yeah, not much room to manoeuvre the ball through there. There's plenty of fielders inside the circle on the offside, but he found the gap. Potts to Jones, oh, that's sharp. It's a great take from Donald, who's up off his feet and taking it a kind of shoulder height. Had a bit on it from Potts.
Yes, it's lovely to see. You don't often see wickets like this in the UK anymore, where the keeper stood almost on the 30-yard circle and he's taking it above his head. Real lovely pace and bounce.
45 for 1. Final ball of the power play, the final ball of the 6 over. This is Potts to Jones, and he's got it away through the offside, and 4 to end the over. He's done well to force it through that well guarded offside field inside the circle. Jones to 21, and Lancashire Lightning 6 overs in, 49 for 1.
Yeah, Donald a bit unhappy there. Should have been stopped probably a point. Difficult stop on the square. But hit hard. Fielder diving away to his right, got 2 hands to it, and you expect that to at least stop a few runs. raced away for 4 runs. Much better batting there from Jones, much more controlled, not trying to hit the ball as hard, using the pace of the wicket, steering it through the offside, knowing he just needs to beat the field. He's got 4 runs.
Yeah, soon sped away that, didn't it? And brings in 4 more. So that's the end of the power play. 49 for 1, Lancashire Lightning. Jack Morley's back in, 3rd over for him. Livingston trying to push it away off the front foot. Scooped up by Wayne Madsen, hands it back to his left-arm spinner. Keeper Donald crouching down behind the stumps. Morley to Livingston, that's thrown wide of off stump, but too far wide. Called away by the umpire. Frustration a little there of Morley. And again to Livingston, that's crunched away through point for 1. Livingston moves on to 3, brings Lancashire Lightning. Sorry, Livingston moves to 3 yet. Lancashire Lightning now 51 for 1. Exactly 100 required. 82 balls left. Stacks of wickets in hand. So far so good for Lancashire.
Nicely ahead of the game, just need to play sensible cricket now for the rest of the match.
Here's Morley to Jones, slapped off the back foot for a single through mid-off. 52 for 1. Sensible cricket in T20.
Oh, what is that?
Sounds a bit boring to me, does that?
Is that a sentence you're allowed to use?
There's Morley in to Livingston, who's played that ever so late and almost looked like it might just squeeze through. In the end, he just drops it into the offside. Entirely sure what Morley was appealing for.
Well, he thought it might have hit his back leg first. It could have actually, it could actually have hit the back pad first as Livingston was trying to chop it away through the offside.
Morley to Livingston, swings and misses. Through to Donald. Good take by the keeper. Lobs it back to Morley. Spins the ball from one hand to the other. We're only in over number 7 of the innings, and Morley's about to bowl his final ball of his 3rd over. Here he is to Livingston. Reaching for that off the front foot. Steering it away into the offside. Madsen fields. End of the 7th over, so 52 for 1. 7 gone. Livingston 3, Jones on 22. And change up in the commentary box here. Stephen Moore replaced, and Paul Shaw is back alongside me. Feels like things are under control for Lancashire Lightning, but it's always a risky thing to say that in this format, isn't it?
I was just going to say, famous last words.
It is, yeah. Everything's under control, don't panic. 52 for 1. Right, here's McKee, more spin. Jones goes down on one knee, just tries to kind of ramp it or paddle it down towards the fine leg boundary. I'm not sure what that came off. Well, it came off nothing. It's been given as a bye.
So if we compare power plays...
Oh, you've made some notes.
I've made a few notes.
That's
You'd
excellent
be
from
pleased
you.
to know.
Yeah, never in doubt. You're such a pro.
I'll mention the power play scores just after this delivery.
McKee in balls to Livingston. They just get bat on ball, chops it away into the offside, and they scamper through for a single. 54 for 1.
And it'd be interesting to know that at 6 overs, there wasn't much in it. Derbyshire Falcons 55 for 2. Lancashire Lightning 49 for 1.
Yeah, pretty level, that, isn't it? I suppose the difference, of course, is that Lancashire know what they need to get, I guess, don't they? They can maybe alter their approach, batting second in the power play because of the modest total they're chasing.
I have to say, the attack, the bowling attack of Derbyshire is bowling quite well at this stage, aren't they? Just trying to keep it as tight as they possibly can and squeeze and try and build a little bit of pressure. Bowling well at the moment.
Keep it in to Jones, just trying to get into a position to get bat and ball. Trying to engineer, create a way to score here, Jones, but was unsuccessful. So a dot ball, 54 for 1. Good start by Joaquin. Another play and a miss.
You see, we do know that the spin bowlers over the years have had much success here, and in the first innings, if you like, Livingston 2 for 24, Hartley 2 for 34, Calm 1 for 29. Just turned the game in that middle period, didn't they?
Keen balls, it's just a fraction short and pulled by Jones out towards the square leg boundary for a single. He's been a tricky customer to get away in that over. It's a good start from the left arm wrist spinner. 55 for 1, 8 overs gone. Livingston on 4, Jones on 23. Quite a nice view from the old balcony hotel rooms.
Yeah, very nice view from up there, isn't it? You know, if you fancy a cup of tea or maybe something slightly stronger.
Even on a Monday night?
Even on a Monday night.
Well, why not?
You sit there with a view of this famous ground, watching some good cricket. What can be better than that? Eh? Coronation Street?
Probably give that one a swerve, if I'm being honest, Shawsey. 55 for 1, 8 overs gone. Pace back into the attack. Low full toss in the aim, which Jones slices away through the offside and not cleanly fielded on the point boundary. And it's 4 for Jones. He moves to 27 now, 59 for 1 as we get into the 9th over.
Yeah, although this is a full toss, just watch how the hands just open. He just opens the blade and works the ball backward a square on the offside. Beautifully played. And a really well timed 4 runs for Jones, who moves on to 27 off 23. Yeah, just his hands, a skill there just to use the pace of the ball.
He's jabbed in, balls again to Jones, who steers it down towards 3rd man on this occasion. 3 for 1.
I think with Javid bowling the pace that he's bowling, you can't give Jones at all any room, because all Jones is looking to do is use the pace of the delivery and just use it, play it away nicely, just time it away rather than hitting it. So he's really using the pace as much as he possibly can. So he needs to go a little bit tighter and just tuck Jones up a little. 91 required of just 70 deliveries.
And he's jabbed from the Brian Statham end. Liam Livingston taps the bat. Left arm round, flashed away by Livingston. Oh, that's... I think come off his glove. He's really shaking his right hand, Liam Livingston. He's got through for 1 run, but as soon as he made contact, he took his hand off the bat and was giving it a fair old shake. And he's flexing his fingers.
Yeah, it's pretty sore, that, isn't it? This time you saw that the bowler coming round the wicket, he's used the angle and just took Livingston up a little, and that ball's got into him a little bit quicker than he thought. Good delivery.
Halfway through the 9th over, Javid balls. And balls Jones. Goes for 28. And Lancashire Lightning lose their 2nd wicket. 61 for 2 in the 9th, and Jones just starting to look in pretty fine fettle. Played a couple of lovely shots in that innings of 28, but his work for the evening with the bat is done. 61 for 2.
Yeah, he's used the pace well, hasn't he, of the quick bowler so far in that over, and tried to do the same thing then, but actually stayed leg side of the ball and just backed away slightly, which really brought in all 3 stumps into play, as we see on the replay here. There we go. Not quite the ball to play like that, was it? Slightly premeditated, I'd suggest. But you've got to give the Javid the credit, because the last 2 deliveries, the one into Livingston and then the one into Jones there, he's used the crease and the angle in at pace. It's good bowling.
He had a very good night against Lancashire just last week. Actually picked up 4 wickets for Derbyshire in the game at the county ground. Javid gets another one against Lancashire here tonight.
Certainly got some pace, hasn't he? Some decent pace.
Ben McDermott Next out to face the challenge. Here's Javid, left arm round the wicket to McDermott. It's worked off his hip down towards the backward square leg boundary for a single. Moves to 1. 62 for 2. I guess Livingston back on strike. 89 needed for Lancashire Lightning. 67 balls left. Jarvid from the Brian Statham end. Floodlights in pretty much full effect now. Still quite a strong breeze. Pushing into Javid's left-hand side as he just tucks Livingston up there. Excellent ball to end the over. Good stuff from the Derbyshire Quick. It's been primarily spin used by Derbyshire Falcons so far tonight. Pace just sparingly, but it's a good over that from Javid. 9 overs gone. 62 for 2.
Two things impressive about that Javid over is using the angle around the wicket and pace into the right-hander. But the other thing he's done is hit his length. Is it that difficult length? You know, so it's just that, probably just into the hip. Maybe slightly lower, and it's a very difficult ball to strike, especially at pace with the angle in. I think he's bowled well that over.
He's got 2 more up his sleeve. 62 for 2. That was a slippery first over by Joaquim. He went for a couple. He's in again to start his second of the evening. Very watchfully and carefully played by McDermott. Playing it late and just tapping it away into the onside for no run.
Certainly fighting and competing, Derbyshire Falcons out there, just trying to turn this into a wrestle. A couple more wickets and they'll fancy the chances.
Keen balls, McDermott. The back foot can't find a way past Martin Anderson at short cover. And there's no run. 62 for 2. Bouncing back in, balls again. Dragged out towards the leg side by Ben McDermott. Just for a single. Ross Whiteley coming up from the long on boundary. 63 for 2. He's a slippery customer to get away, isn't he, McKean? Livingston this time off the back foot, cuts it out through the offside. Gentle jog through for 1. Livingston moves on to 6. 64 for 2.
Current run rate at the moment is 6.62. Required run rate is around about 8.4. So that, keep an eye on that. They're just gradually rising.
Keen balls, McDermott, and hit it nicely, but hit it straight to Anderson. Did well, Martin Anderson there for Derbyshire. Got everything in behind it. Stops the ball. And the dot ball. Yet to concede a boundary, Joaquim. Only gone for 2 so far from his 2 overs. That'll be 3 from 2 overs.
What ball like that?
And that over. Yeah, nicely done. Just 3 from the over. And that is the halfway stage. 10 overs gone. 65 for 2. We've got his moustache time.
And Fraser certainly puts a shift in down there, doesn't he? Moustache cam. Look at that, perfect fit. Just suits the sunglasses as well. That's what you call alignment, Scott. Alignment.
Superimposed moustache onto some unsuspecting member of the crowd.
Take me a long time to grow one like that.
It's impossible for me. Here is Morley in to McDermott. Takes a single down the ground. 66 for 2.
Plus nowadays mine would look slightly greyer, I think, than that. You know.
Yeah.
Just, you know, just a touch.
Just a touch.
Yeah. But distinguished look.
Absolutely.
Worked for George Clooney, didn't it?
If it works for George, it'll work for you. There's no doubt about it. Livingston's on 6. Morley in. Livingston goes big. In the air. Down the ground. And all the way for 6. Ross Whiteley on the long on boundary. It was over his head by a decent distance. Livingston swings away, moves to 12, 72 for 2.
Yeah, just got enough for that, didn't he? just full enough. And he's launched that over long on for a much needed 6 runs.
Morley balls, so that's pushed wide and again called a wide. Just a little bit too far past that guideline that the umpires can use. 73 for 2. Morley to Livingston. Oh, he's gone again, but doesn't get this one away. Twirls the bat a couple of times. Keeper settling behind the stumps. Morley clutching the ball towards his chest. He creeps his way back in. Balls. Livingston plenty of wrist, flashing the ball through the offside. Up towards deep point for a single. Takes him to 13 not out. Lancashire Lightning 74 for 2.
Requires 77 of just 56 deliveries.
Here's Morley to McDermott. Fielded inside the circle by McKeem at short third man.
Derbyshire is certainly making Lancashire work pretty hard out there, aren't they? For every run.
Sure, they make 150 feel like a tricky score to get. There's Morley into McDermott. Punched away through the offside for 1, and he keeps the strike as well with a 6 off the over. Certainly helped. And then 3 singles as well. 9 off the bat in that over. 75 for 2, 11 gone. And it's 76 required for Lancashire Lightning. They've got 54 balls to do it. 8 wickets in hand. And, Livingston and McDermott currently together, trying to help push Lancashire into a position where they'll go on and win this match. Going to be spin again. It's been spin-tastic, hasn't it, tonight from Derbyshire?
It has. It has.
Return of Matthew Montgomery. He's into McDermott, and he manages eventually to find a way past the reach of Martin Anderson. He's picked out Anderson a few times, McDermott, but gets that one underneath Anderson's body to his right-hand side and does get a single. 76 for 2. Brings Livingston back on strike. Well, that's quick from Montgomery. Flat and quick. Really darted in, wasn't it, to Livingston? Cut away to point for a single.
Certainly was. But there's just enough pace on and just enough width just to enable Livingston to work the ball just in front of point on the offside.
Into Montgomery.
Ooh.
It's stopped just beyond the edge of the fielding circle by McKeem. It's just a little bit of bat on that. It's been given as a run on the sweep from McDermott, so he moves to 7 not out. 78 for 2. Montgomery to Livingston. Cut out into the offside. Anderson fields.
It was round about this point in the game where Derbyshire lost 3 or 4 wickets for around 6 runs.
Livingston takes us at least 1. He's going to be just a single. Work through mid-wicket for 1. 79 for 2. Yes, he kind of wheels kind of came off a little bit, didn't they? They never quite got them back on again, did the Derbyshire? They stumbled their way towards 150, but it's not been easy going so far, this, for Lancashire Lightning. McDermott cuts and thinks of 1, and then he's sent back. Throw from Madsen comes into Donald, the keeper. He then takes the ball and dismantles the stumps, but McDermott getting back just in the nick of time.
Yeah, just back in there. Good recovery in the end.
So 12 gone. 79 for 2.
There we go. Waving away, enjoying the cricket. What a great view it is from over there. Family affair, wasn't it? Nice to see the family.
Very nice. Busy on the hotel balconies on Friday, best for the Rose as much.
Oh, yes.
Oh, it'll be lively then, won't it, on Friday?
Battle of the Roses.
Double header as well.
Yes.
Love a double header, Roses match. Here's Mokeem to Livingston.
Oh.
Trying to work it out towards the onside. A bit of a juggle from Donald. Keeper. Yeah, double header on Friday. It's, Thunder up first, followed by Lightning in the evening. Looking forward to that. Flatter and quicker from Mokeem to Livingston. Push down the ground for 1. I think there's still the odd ticket going, but not many for Friday night. So we fancy some Roses action this Friday evening. Not many chances to get a ticket. There's still a few, but not too many left. You can watch both games on Friday. Playing a miss from McDermott into the gloves of Donald.
Tough going this, isn't it? Bowling very, very well. The spin unit of Derbyshire, using the pitch, hitting good lengths, varying the pace too. It's not easy out there.
71 off 44. As Dermott swings away, it's in the air, and he has been caught. It's a very, very good catch. Coming up from deep mid-wicket, Yusuf bin Naeem. Excellent work, he had plenty of ground to make up. And McDermott going for the big shot. Can't get it over the fielder, and he has to go for 7. And Mokeem has bowled very nicely here for Derbyshire. Gets a well-deserved wicket as well, 80 for 3.
Yeah, he's bowling a really good spell here. The pressure's building, building, building. Just held that back just a little bit. Beautiful delivery. And it's beginning to look a bit of a challenge for Lancashire at this stage. Pressure's building.
Yeah, well, we were all quite confident at the halfway stage that 150 wouldn't be enough, but say it would have been interesting. Derbyshire having the chance to bat on this pitch to begin with. They may have felt that somewhere in that total could be defendable. They've got loads of spin options. They've gone spin heavy at the top.
They certainly wanted to bat first and try and get runs on the board and then back their spin unit later in the game. At the moment, they're in the game, aren't they? 71 of 43 required from Lancashire.
Joe Moores. New batter. As he edged behind, he's been caught by Donald. He's gone first ball. It's a magic little spell this from Mokeem for Derbyshire. Picks up 2 wickets in 2 balls. And Joe Moores departs. And Lancashire are 4 down, 80 for 4 after 13. Still requires 71 to win. 42 balls remaining.
Yeah, it's been the last few overs has been an absolute pleasure to watch the spin bowlers of Derbyshire bowl. And first ball, wide ball, just nicks it through to the keeper, well taken by the keeper. But it's interesting, it's very similar stage to the spinners of Lancashire taking wickets at this stage of the game when Derbyshire were batting first. Almost identical in terms of that middle period of the game, going into the last, working towards the last third of the game, as the batters are then just looking to accelerate a little bit as the risk goes up. The spinners are in the game, and I have to say, the spin unit of Derbyshire have bowled tremendously well. Bit of a change up here though. We've got a little bit of pace.
Yeah, Martin Anderson for the first time actually with the ball. And Livingston off the back foot, muscling it out towards mid-wicket, and it's gone for 4. And the boundary gets the Lancashire supporters cheering. Livingston a couple of quick wickets. Livingston, who Lancashire have leaned on quite heavily in the last few games, might well be leaning on once more. 84 for 4.
Yeah, just sat up nicely just outside off stump, so he's had to drag it, but he's played that really well and made a good contact. And I'm sure he'll prefer the pace on at this stage.
And that's wide from Anderson. Called away by David Milnes. He'll have to bowl that one again.
Yeah, you're right, Scott. He's played a big part in the games. Many of the games he's played this year, Livingston, hasn't he? He's certainly given his all, and Played a pretty leading role when he's played.
85 for 4. Livingston waits. Anderson's in and let's pull down the ground for 1. He's on to 21. Not out. 86 for 4. Well, the pick of the bunch will have been the innings he got at Durham. It was in a match-winning cause. He also got 81 against Glamorgan in Blackpool, but somehow Lancashire conspired to lose that game. But his 85 not out against Durham was something pretty special to watch. Here's Hurst to nudge it out towards the leg side for a single. 87 for 4. He's 85 not out against Durham. Came off 31 balls, 6 fours and 8 sixes. As Lancashire beat Durham a few weeks ago, so yeah, he's had a couple of outstanding innings with a bat for Lancashire of late. Can he churn out another one here? That's clipped out to the leg side. Doesn't need to be quite as spectacular as those two I just mentioned, but I suppose if he's there at the end, Lancashire should win.
I think that's the key, isn't it? If he bats pretty much all the way through here, builds a partnership here, momentum shifts then towards Lancashire, requires 63 off 38 deliveries.
Hurst on strike. Here's Anderson in, balls to Hurst. Pulled away towards the leg side for 1, just beyond the edge of the fielding circle. Hurst moves on to 289 for 4. 1 ball remaining of the 14th over. But they've fought really well. They've fought their way back into the match, Derbyshire. Maybe gambled with bowling so much spin early on. Maybe try and apply some scoreboard pressure, and there's a chance it could work. Still require 62 from 37. Final ball of the over for Martin Anderson. And Livingston just tucks it in towards the onside. They want to come back for 2, and they've done well there, forcing the second run. End of the over. 91 for 4, so 60 to win, and 36 balls remaining, with Livingston on 24 and Hurst on 2. The kids are enjoying the chance for a freebie t-shirt. It's not just the kids, I don't think. The mums and dads are trying to muscle their way into to grab one. Right, this is a hat-trick ball, isn't it? 2 and 2 to end the over, Mukeeb.
Yeah.
So he's on a hat-trick here. He's got Hurst on strike. Mukeeb in. Balls, it's pushed away through the offside by Matthew Hurst. He moves to 3, 92 for 4. Brings Livingston back on strike. Mukeeb's 4th and final over. He's had a terrific evening so far. 2 for 7. Dropped into the onside again with perhaps intentions of coming back for a second, but not on this occasion. Just 1 for Livingston. He moves to 25. 93 for 4. Keen left arm spin over the wicket, pushed away by Hurst through point for a single. 94 for 4. He'll be done for the evening at the end of this over, will McKean, and he's bowled superbly here for the Falcons. Livingston picks out Wayne Madsen. There's no run.
2 for 9. Some spell in it.
Even balls. Livingston says, I've had enough of that. Slog sweeping out towards the hotel. Supporters ducking for cover in the seats. 6 for Livingston just to try and ease a bit of the pressure that was being built up. 100 up for Lancashire as well, 100 for 4.
Livingston's got the, he's full enough for him to get all of that, isn't it? And the line's quite tight to him, so he's able to work that ball to the leg side and go with the breeze.
It's the
first, the boundary.
That's the first boundary he's conceded, Muki.
Gone again, is he out?
He's gone out towards deep mid-wicket, and he is out. He has gone again, and he sent it right down the throat of deep mid-wicket. And Muki has his third of the evening. He has bowled superbly, and Derbyshire are fighting their way to the very end here. They're right in the game. Lancashire lose another one, 5 down, 100 for 5, needing 51 to win, and they have just 30 deliveries to do it.
Yeah, you could hear the crowd just hesitate there as Livingston hit that ball in the air down to deep mid-wicket. Unfortunately, he didn't get all of that, and the fielder was fielded and situated just inside the boundary. Perfectly positioned for that ball. He'll be disappointed with that, but the crowd just dropped almost to a silence at that point as the game is just beginning to turn. Derbyshire are really fighting, bowled tremendously well. The spin unit has done a great job, and I'll leave you in the very capable hands of Scott for a little while longer.
Thank you, Shawsey. Right then, 5 overs to go. Stephen Moore going to come back and join me. And Shadab Khan comes out to join Matthew Hurst. 51 needed to win, 30 balls to do it. Game on, Stephen.
It is definitely tighter than Lancashire would have liked at the start of this innings, that's for sure.
Hurst is the man on strike. Here's Nick Potts. Balls to Matthew Hurst. That just thuds into his thigh pad, I think. Yep. David Milnes in position to signal the leg by.
It does strike me as a batting lineup that is struggling to have the confidence to chase a total like this, because it's not the easiest batting wicket, but it can score quickly on this. It just looks a little bit frantic. Guys trying to overhit the ball. Just, it was a simple game plan, 50 for 1 after 6.
It's Potts to Shadab. A controlled pull shot. Steering it out towards deep square leg for a single.
An experienced batting lineup, but look at that. I'm sure Livingston would have done that as well, but he also looked like he was trying to overhit it. You go to run a ball, a boundary every other over, you're down to 20 off the last 4. Derbyshire are going to have to stick or twist because they've used their spin up front. You play for the back end. It looks like Lancashire tried to rush it a bit.
102 for 5. Potts in to Hurst, and he clears short third man. Inventive from Hurst, scooping it over the keeper and down to the boundary. Welcome boundary for Lancashire Lightning. They need a few more, mind you. 106 for 5.
Yeah, lovely little reverse scoop shot. I mean, that's just standard practice now for these players, isn't it? I mean, a few years ago I was in shock and awe, but no, it's a safe shot today, which is crazy to say.
45 to win, 27 balls left. Potts bowls to Hurst. Dropped out into the onside for a single. 107 for 5. Qualification on the line here for Lancashire Lightning. If they don't win this game, they would be 10 points behind second place Yorkshire with just 8 points to play for. It looks unlikely that third in the North Group would get you a qualification spot. It's Potts in to Shadab. Drops it back towards the bowler. Hurst is a step or two down and wanted a single, but can't sneak through for one there. Just a reminder, currently in third place in the Central Group is Worcestershire Rapids, 24 points. Third in the South Group, Essex with 20 points. So it probably would be unlikely that third would be enough. They have to win this game, Lancashire. Shadab down the pitch towards Potts, and that's slapped away towards the leg side. Just get a single. It's the end of the 16th over, so it's 108 for 5, 43 to win from 24 balls, Stephen Moore.
Yeah, you can't help but think that Lancashire have batted themselves into this hole. They didn't need to, with a little bit of sensible cricket after the first 6 overs. But you have to give Derbyshire credit. They have put Lancashire into this position by bowling very, very well. Squeezing in the field, they've done everything they could do to really put Lancashire in a position where they've now got it all to do.
They have it all to do. Well, they've been on the receiving end a couple of times this season, Lancashire, of a batting side that looked like they had it all to do and perhaps had too much to do and managed to do it. So can they dish out a bit of their own medicine here? 24 balls left, 43 needed to win. Shadab drives towards Whiteley at mid-on. Scampers through for a single. 109 for 5. 42 off 23 balls.
Yeah, and Duckworth Lewis there, suggesting Lancs are about 14 runs behind the game. So they're one big over away from being up with the rate.
Where can they find that one big over? Hurst on 9. Left arm seam of Javed around the wicket. He's pulled that out towards the leg side, and they come back for 2. It's a comfortable 2. So 40 needed, 22 balls left, but boundaries required for Lancashire Lightning. At least 1 needed, you would think, in this over.
Field's been set for heavy length, a lot of fielders on the boundary. Deep third man, deep fine leg, deep backward square leg, point on the boundary. You know what he's going to be bowling here, Matty Hurst.
He waits unbeaten on 11. Jabbing in, balls, fires in a great Yorker, and Hurst as well to jab the bat down and keep it out. They actually get through for a single as well. He looks right at the toe end of his bat. Just in the nick of time, he jabbed the bat down and got some wood on that. 39 to win from 21 balls.
Lovely piece of bowling. Derbyshire really have bowled well. Yeah, credit to them. Not a big total to defend here, but they have made Lancashire think twice about their approach. And now a beautiful Yorker fired in, and Hurst did a brilliant job to keep it out.
Yes, he did, didn't he? Great effort. Shut up. In the game last week against Derbyshire, scored Lancashire's fastest ever T20 50. Javed's in and balls. Swing and a miss. Through to keeper Donald. He got to 50. Shadab Khan at the county ground off just 19 deliveries. So went past a record that was previously shared between actually Matthew Hurst and Joss Butler. Record-breaking 50.
Should be in good form then.
Let's hope for a bit more tonight.
He needs it tonight. Lancashire do need it.
Could do a few of those runs from last week.
There is no second chance saloon here, is there?
There is not, no. Defeat would probably be that. That's off the pads by Shadab, out toward deep backward square leg. Potts on the boundary there for Derbyshire to field, so just the single. Shadab moves to 4. 38 seems like a ton of runs to get at the minute with 19 balls left.
I must admit, when you are batting and you don't feel like you got any momentum, neither batsman is really in. They don't look like they're in at the moment. England were playing here. They had Bethel, who was in, could control it, could put the foot on the accelerator. Both these batsmen trying to find their rhythm.
113 for 5. 1 ball remaining of the over. Javed balls to Hurst. It's actually in the end a full toss, which Hurst swings and misses. And through to the keeper. Tidy stuff again from Javed. Spinners dominated early on, but the quicks are doing their part here at the back end of the innings for Derbyshire. There's just 18 balls left, effectively for Lancashire's T20 campaign. Just to keep it alive for the Roses match on Friday.
It's going to take a special little cameo now. One of these batsmen are going to have to find the middle of the bat more often than not now. Make these Derbyshire bowlers feel under pressure at the moment. They don't feel like they can miss, really. They're strutting around. You can see the fielders. They've got a bit of bounce, a bit of energy. Derbyshire definitely feel like they're ahead of the game here. One clean strike though.
Could change it.
Could change it. Just need one out the middle. Bit of swagger.
Right, Shadab, what have you got? Montgomery's into ball. And he pulls it. It's in the air. Has he got enough? No, he's caught out at deep mid-wicket. Montgomery strikes for the first ball of his 4th over. And Shadab can't match the efforts and the hitting and the scoring of last week against Derbyshire. He's out for 4. Lancashire 6 down. Crucially a dot ball as well. Still 38 needed off 17.
And once again, falling for that trap, hitting into the breeze to the big boundary there. Clever captaining, brought the spinner on, made the batsman hit out to that long boundary, and never going to make it out there. That's, you've got to be hitting that ball almost 100 meters to clear those fielders out there. So not sensible batting, and Lancashire are looking in trouble.
A 3rd catch for Naeem tonight. He's caught nicely out in the deep for Derbyshire. Montgomery gets his 2nd wicket, and he calls for Jack Blatherwick. What's he got here? Lancashire need something a little bit special. 38 from 17 balls is the equation. Here's Montgomery to Blatherwick, fires one in flat and quick to Blatherwick, who's off the back foot and pushes it back to the bowler. And there's no run. Just under 60 miles an hour, that ball from Montgomery. Fizzed in to Blatherwick. That's muscle down the ground, but it'll only be 1. Which, in truth, is not enough. 37 off 15.
Don't look like they have the options here, Lancashire. Battered themselves into a bit of a hole, don't have any momentum. Derbyshire are controlling this now.
Montgomery into Hurst. He comes down the pitch and tries to force it away down the ground. They're thinking of coming back for 2. Ross Whiteley tidies up neatly enough at the long on boundary. And this moves on to 13, so it's 115 for 6. Back over to Blatherwick. Taps the bat. Montgomery in, bowls. Down the pitch he comes. Swipes it away. And back for 2. Morley fields at wide. Long off. 34 off 13. For Lancashire Lightning. It's Old Trafford is a quiet venue at the minute. This might help a little bit. That's clubbed down the ground. Lancashire desperate for boundaries. They've found one. Jack Blatherwick finds one, hammering it back over the bowler's head. 4 to end the over. But down to 2 overs remaining, just 12 balls left. 121 for 6. Nearly 30 off 12.
And that's a really, positive, sensible shot. That, a really good, clean strike, hard down the ground, using the pace of the pitch, the pace of the outfield, gave the fielder on the long off boundary no chance of getting there, and you got no chance of getting out either. Just good, sensible cricket, just not been enough of it.
Well, we need to see an over that we've not really seen yet in this innings.
Needs to be must be at least a 21, 15 or 21 over this, otherwise you're got no chance.
Otherwise you're cooked. Jab it in, balls. Well, that'll start it nicely. That's going to be 6. Sir Hurst, first ball faced, start of the 19th, whacks it over long on for 6. And it's now 24 needed, 11 balls left.
That was a nice shot, but you got to say, bowler has missed his length there. That's the first one he's missed. He's either been short, heavy, or he's been Yorker, and that was in the slot. And Hurst was not missing out there. Lovely shot, not great bowling, but pressure on.
It's a start.
Start.
It's a start.
Start.
This moves to 19.
Just one clean shot, and I think Derbyshire a little bit overreacting here, but he's had 3 fielders come and talk to him already. It just wasn't a great ball, that's all. Just simple. Do what he did last over.
Yeah.
If he nails his Yorkers like he did, and if he bowls at heavy length, he'll make life hard.
6 off the first ball. Welcome cheer for the home supporters. Balls again, Hurst drags it out towards the leg side. He's scampered the first, he'll turn and come back for 2. It's going to be tight, but they have forced 2. he's almost run towards the pavilion as Matthew Hurst.
Where was that intensity? 5-6 overs ago, a strong batting lineup with confidence. Here at Old Trafford, you push the fielders. It hasn't been there. So they've, once again, too little, too late. Never know. Hopefully he does get a few clean shots here. Lovely running, but should have been doing that 5 overs ago.
8 off the first 2 deliveries, 22 to win, 10 balls left. Long on, drops back towards the rope, deep mid-wicket, a deep square leg, third man, deep point. Javed for Derbyshire, left arm round the wicket, and Hurst, I think, into a position just to try and see if he could flick it past the keeper. It was the wide Yorker from Javed. It's come just off the toe end of the Hurst bat, and they've scuttled through for 1. 21 needed, 9 balls remaining.
Yeah, good bowling that. Hurst was eyeing up, just ramping it over short fine leg, no one back there, and a wide Yorker meant that all he could try and do was try and shuffle it over the keeper, but just Q-ended it.
It was the old Q-end.
Yeah.
It was. Right, 9 balls left, 21 to win. Blatherwick, it's over to you. The over started with a 6. They could do with another 1 or 2. Javed for Derbyshire, Statham end. Balls to Blatherwick. Oh, it's an excellent wide Yorker again, which Blatherwick swings and misses. Ball snakes through to Donald, who's jogging up. Keeper and captain for the Derbyshire Falcons. Have a chat with his bowler. Dot ball, 21 required, and just 8 balls left.
A very simple message I'll be giving him if I was Donald. Bowl the same ball, I will keep the same field. There's no chance of anybody doing anything different with that delivery. But interestingly, he has decided to change his field. He's brought deep square up. He's put a sort of a fly slip in place. Probably bowl exactly the same delivery. But there's a bit more jeopardy here, because if he gets a thick edge on this, it could race away.
21 to win, 8 balls left. Javed for Derbyshire. Blatherwick waits in and bowls. He swings again, but he's overstepped. It's a no ball. He oversteps and it's a no ball. Well, that'll help a little. It's a free hit. Well, that's got the Lancashire supporters a little bit more engaged. They see the no ball call and the free hit signalled on the giant screen.
If this goes for a boundary.
Oh, that would be a bit of a Brucey bonus, wouldn't it? 20 to win from 8 balls. Free hit. Can't change the field. Still Blatherwick on strike. Javed in balls. Blatherwick swings away. Oh, that's a big, big hit. One of the biggest of the evening for Lancashire Lightning. He has hammered it up and over extra cover. The free hit pays off. 14 to win from 7.
That has gone miles. I mean, that was wide outside the off stump. He missed his Yorker. It was probably shin height, and he has hit that 105 meters back. That is the longest part of the ground into the breeze. Wow. That has gone miles.
Clobbered away by Blatherwick. 6 for Lancashire Lightning, 14 to win required, 7 balls left.
Oh, a boundary here now. That'll make it exciting last over. Told you, this game can change on a dime.
The over started with a 6. There's been a free hit in it. There's been another 6. This is the final ball of it. Javed to Blatherwick, hit firmly back down the ground. He got some fingers on that, did Javed, just to take the pace off it, and they've scampered through for 1. Well, they've got it to 13 from the final 6 balls.
Well,
would have
Made it interesting.
definitely have taken that at the start of the previous over.
Oh, he did. Tell you what, that was a Brucey bonus, as he called it there. The no ball 6. That has changed the complete complexion. So you can see a little bit of a spring in the step of the Lancashire batsman. Pressure is definitely on the Derbyshire bowlers now. Still everything to do. It's even 13 off the last over. One boundary now early on in this over. Exciting.
12 to tie, of course.
12 to tie.
It's not
That
ruled
doesn't
out.
really help it, is it?
I don't know, I'm confused by a tie. I'll have to work that out.
We don't do ties.
Well, actually, no. If a tie would make the gap to Yorkshire 8 points with 8 to play for, who knows? 13 to win. Here's Potts in, bowls. Blatherwick hits it back down the ground. It's in the air, bouncing towards the boundary. It won't reach the rope. He's dropped his back. He'll have to come back. He's desperately coming back.
Why did he pick the bat up?
Well, I've no idea. It's carnage.
He went back for the bat. What was he doing? Leave the bat.
The Derbyshire players are around the umpire. They're having a word about something.
I've never seen that before.
So he dropped his bat.
He dropped his bat and then went back for his bat.
Well, he's got a fond attachment to his bat. Drops the bat. Oh, hang on.
He's gone back for the bat. He's actually run, left his bat, and then went, oh no, actually, maybe I should go back for my bat. He turned round. He's run 2.5 runs.
What did they run in the end? 2?
Yeah, they ran a 2.
They ran a 2, right.
But,
excellent.
Blatherwick ran 2.5 because he went back for his bat. Just run. I'm sure
brilliant.
Matty Hurst is just shouting him, run, leave the bat.
Right, they've scampered 2 somehow. So it's 11 to win from 5. 10 to tie. They're crazy games, aren't they? 140 for 6 here at Emirates Old Trafford on Lancs TV and on BBC Radio Lancashire. 11 runs required to win, 5 balls left. It's Potts for Derbyshire. Blatherwick in and swings away towards the leg side. Don't drop your bat. He's through for 1. He turns and comes back for 2. It's going to be close. He's put the dive in. He's been run out. Puff of dust billows up. He reckons he's in, but the dive didn't save him. Blatherwick, in desperation to come back for 2, has been run out. 1 more to the total, so it'll be 10 to win with 4 balls left.
It was absolutely the right thing to do, though. Going for 2 there. It required a good throw from Whiteley from the boundary. Thrown from deep long on all the way to the striker's end. And he got it inch perfect.
He reckons he's in. Here comes the dive.
Oh, I think he's short. Great effort. I mean, a full-length dive on the wicket there. That is cheese grater stuff, that. Yeah, it was a great piece of fielding, though. Came in a really rocket arm right above the stumps. Couldn't have been more perfect for the keeper there.
Yeah, it's Ross Whiteley, wasn't it? Sending that in.
A good fielding there. Most fielders would have gone to the non-striker's end there, the shorter throw, but he's thrown it flat right above the bails. I think he was short of his ground. Good cricket all round, the right cricket. Oof, 10 off 4.
10 off 4. Hartley's the new batter. There's Potts to Hartley. He's clubbed it up towards long on. Oh, they've just taken 1. So it's 9 to win, 3 balls remaining. This is effectively qualification on the line here for Lancashire Lightning. If they don't win this game, they're 10 points from second with just 8 to play for. And it's unlikely that third would be enough in the North Group to qualify. So it's kind of now or never to keep Friday's Roses match very much alive for qualification. 9 to win, 3 balls left. Potts in, bowls, and it's in the air by Hurst, but he has cleared mid-off and he's got 4. Reaching and stretching for it and just clearing mid-off. Hurst to 26. It's 5 to win from 2 balls.
Yeah, Potts got his line wrong there. He was trying to do the right thing there. He brought mid-off up. He wanted to bang it into the wicket, make him hit out towards the deep boundary on the leg side there, but he got his line wrong. It was outside off stump. And then Hurst could just slap it like a forehand. Been watching Wimbledon over the top of mid-off.
5 to win. It's 1 hit away. Here's Potts into Hurst. He goes for a hit. He clears extra cover. He's out towards the boundary and he's gone for 4. Matthew Hurst. It's back-to-back 4s. 150 for 7. They're not losing tonight, Lancashire Lightning. And they're 1 win away from winning. Scores are level.
Goodness me. The question about the height, but no, the height was fine. He's just done it again. Tried to bang it in, trying to do the right thing. He just, execution hasn't been there from Potts. He needed that to be straight. He needed that to be hit towards the leg side. But he's got his line wrong. It's outside the off stump, and Hurst does exactly the same thing. Top spin forehand over the top of extra cover this time, a bit wider. And there's every Derbyshire senior pro now is around the Potts.
Yeah, everyone's got a view on this.
Wicket or nothing now, because Lancashire will be running no matter what.
Yes, yeah. Matthew Hurst and Tom Hartley have a brief conversation. They know what's needed. Almost no matter what happens, that they're running here. Run out's an option, isn't it? Oh, goodness. Scores level at 150. 1 ball left, 1 run needed. Watch out for a run out. It is a real possibility. They're running regardless, Hurst and Hartley.
If I was Donald, I'd be trying to stand up to the stumps of this, because...
Here we go. Last ball, 1 to win it. Potts in to Hurst, he's bowled him! Would you believe it?
Can you believe it?
Falling straight and he uproots middle stump, and Hurst has gone ball for 30, and the match finishes in a tie. With Lancashire on 150 for 8 from 20 overs, and the game finishes tied. And with it, Lancashire's hopes of qualifying hanging by the thinnest of threads. 8 points away from Yorkshire, who are second, with Yorkshire to come on Friday and then Durham to follow on Sunday. 2 games left, 8 points remaining, 8 points from qualification. Hurst has bowled, and Potts, right at the end, digs Derbyshire back out of it, and the game finishes in a breathless tie.
Oh, Hurst was on his knees at the end there. He can't believe it. He charged, he walked down the wicket at Potts just to try and get the ball on the full, knock it into a gap, and it's almost yorked himself. It's come off his pads and knocked the middle stump out the ground. Yes, distraught.
It's a long walk back for Matthew Hurst as he trudges his way off the outfield. For our viewers on Lancs TV, we're heading outside. Here's Fraser. And here on BBC Radio Lancashire, well, we'll mop up the details of this. Hurst can't quite believe it. Back-to-back 4s. He thought he'd won it. But not to be for Lancashire Lightning. And probably, in truth, that will probably going to be it. So the gap is 8 points to second place, with 8 points to play for. But the net run rate not working in Lancashire's favour. They need to beat Yorkshire on Friday, beat Durham on Sunday, but I suspect even that probably will not be enough. What do you make of that, Stephen Moore?
I'm in shock.
Yep.
I was talking about the highs and lows. I was riding high. I thought Hurst had done it, and then just like that, taken away.
Yep. It's amazing, isn't it, how these games they flip-flopped, aren't they, so much? I mean, it felt like a bit of a cruise at one stage for Lancashire, kind of after the power play, probably the halfway stage. And then they're chasing their tails, they look out of it, and then they're right back in it. I mean, they are brilliant games to try and unpick.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it was a great batting performance by any stretch of the imagination. I think when they sit down and reflect, you know, they've got a lot of work to do. That should have been a home and dry game. 150 on this big ground, big outfield, wicket with a little bit of pace in it. Yes, it was a bit too paced, a bit of bounce, a little bit of turn, nothing crazy. You could tell from the number of times you had some really clean striking of the ball. It just looked frenetic, not composed, and ultimately that cost them. Needed some cool heads to take the game deep, and they were unable to do that and left it too much, too late. Almost got out of jail, but as a team, as a batting team, you'd think, haven't done my job tonight.
The table as it stands, updated table now, Notts atop, 10 played, 7 wins, 28 points. Yorkshire second, 10 played, 6 wins, 26 points. Lancashire a third with 18 points, 4 wins from 10. So, as I said, we've mentioned a few times that the gap between Lancashire and certain qualification is 8 points, with 8 points available. They could finish third and qualify, but you look at, as it stands, the current teams placed third. Well, Worcestershire have 24 points, so they're pretty comfortably better off than Lancashire. Essex have 20 points, third in their group. Lancashire currently third, have 18 points. 2 more wins might do it, but the odds are shifted against them more tonight. A win would have made the task a little more straightforward. Still obviously having 2 games to win, but now they need snookers from elsewhere now.
They're going to need a little bit of help along the way, but importantly, they're also going to have to up their game, you know, to beat Yorkshire and beat, you know, Durham, and to do it well and build the confidence to go into the knockout phases of the game. They look low on confidence, that batting lineup. You know, today that should have been a fairly straightforward run chase. You know, dominate your home ground. You know how to play on this ground, and they didn't execute.
This is a team that also failed to convert a winning run chase to a victory on Friday night. They think they needed 20 off 3 overs to win it on Friday night, and didn't get there. So that will play a part on it a little bit. I mean, they're not
Absolutely.
winning that many games of T20 cricket at the minute.
No, it doesn't. It starts to, like I say, it starts to knock your confidence. And as a player, as a batsman, you know your game plan. And you know when you're not getting the job done, you know you take it into the nets and you work on it. But ultimately, your confidence comes from getting the job done out there in the middle. And if you keep missing it, then as a batting unit, you know you start looking around the change room and who's going to stand up and do it. And ultimately, this should have been a team effort. That didn't feel like a difficult run chase, and they made it difficult.
They did. The chances of me and you being together at Edgbaston for finals day have reduced.
Slowly reducing, unfortunately.
Yes. You know when Scotland were in the World Cup and they kept putting the percentage chance of Scotland finishing, and it diminished as the days went by, didn't it? It started at 49% and went to 0.1% or something. We're in that territory, aren't we? Yeah.
We are watching it, unfortunately.
We are. The chances are diminishing that we'll see a finals day this year, but who knows? Right. Thank you, Stephen, as ever.
You're welcome. No, thank you. It's been a lovely evening.
Right, we've got more cricket for you on this coming Friday. So it's a double header on Friday with Lancashire Thunder first up in the women's T20 game against Yorkshire. So it's a Roses double header. So Thunder starts the women's side, followed by Lightning in the evening, the men's side. And well, there's always something on it for a Roses game, whether there's